welcome ladies and gentlemen to IRL Exhibition Series Round 4 at Germany. I am your solo commentator for today, Jared Fosbury, or as IRL Neon. We'll be doing a full quality format today, 80 minutes in the first session, 50 minutes in the second session, and the third and final shootout will be a 12-minute quality session, with then 100% race distance. There's 3 drivers today battling out for the title. Matthew Alder, of course, is one of those drivers who is a 2-time champion in IRL F1. We also have Brandon Glover, who missed out on the championship on the summer season against him, so could he get some redemption and try and win a title in an exhibition series, or will it be Ollie Favell, who is leading the championship at the moment? And good evening, Tyler Thomas. It's good to see you on the stream, and we will be at Germany for the final time, and it'll be a shame that it's not on the 2020 game, but we've got to deal with it. Germany is no longer on the calendar for the next game, as we went for a couple more drivers to start. We just lost a drive, it looks like, but I think he will be returning. As we'll go on the points then, as right now then, we will notice that Ollie Favell is leading the championship then. He has 63 points to his name. Brandon Glover is in second with 55, and then Matthew Alder, the 2-time IRL F1 champion, with 52 points. And a very surprised person to see who's in fourth is Logan, who's got 37 points, who was in IRL F2, had a good few last races, with Lewis Curtis in 5th with 35 points, Jamie Morris in 6th with 20 points, Adam, a very good results he's had in the Expedition Series to be 7th with 20 points, Pedro in 8th with 18 points, Mumford in 9th with 15, and Joe Hollis in 10th with 12 points, Shane with 10 points in 11th, Tim in 12th with 8 points, Riceman 13th, I believe that's Reese, with 6 points, Delta 14th with 4 points, Sam Thompson also 15th with 4 points, with Paco Swords in 16th with 4 points as well. The Bottle Hog himself, Sondra Sohaug, in 17th with 3 points, and 18th is Mystic with 1 point, and Lewis Vassman at 19th with 1 point as well, and everybody else who isn't on the stands at the moment have got 0 points. So I'll just make sure. Correct, Tim, it will be a long race today. Hopefully you can stay for the full race, as it is Germany of course, and it's last time we will see Germany. As the driver has returned, so we do have 18. We should be going very soon. We're 3 minutes delayed, I believe, but I think we are waiting for one driver, and then we will get going. Right now, our stream is up. Stream's good. If you guys got any questions though about Season 8 or any information you would like, do leave a comment or question for the admins to answer. They can answer in the comments while I wait, or I can try and answer with the best of my ability. But don't be afraid to ask any question while we wait for drivers to turn up. I didn't know you had a broken thumb, Tom. Tyler, I mean. Hopefully it doesn't injure you that much. Hopefully you can get a good result with a broken thumb. I do know Callum Anderson's done something to his hand as well, so maybe that's why he did say in the Discord both of you two are broken. But hopefully you can do well today. Evening, Luke. He's saying good luck to every driver in this race, and good luck to you all as well from me, and good luck to you, Luke, as I believe you're in the Merc today with Bran. It's good to see. I do know you like that Mercedes. So we're just waiting. Ah, there we go. There is our 19th driver, so I believe we should be on the way. So it's going to be a knockout then. A few drivers will be knocked out, unfortunately, in the first qualifying session, unfortunately, but they'll have to deal with that and wait for a while. But this is where they could see drivers who are a bit quicker, learn a bit of the track and probably improve in the race as well, which would be good to see. But the main fight will be for the top 3. Matthew Alder, Ollie Favell and Brandon Glover for the championship today. If you guys want to predict who's going to win the championship, do let us know in the comments. If I haven't already, hit that like button. So we're about to go live in Germany then. As the bottom log also says good luck to everyone. I think I need a good luck, Sandra. As you did say, my voice may not be able to make the whole race, but I'll do my best. So it'll be endurance for the drives, also be an endurance for my voice today. As we go into Q1. Like 6% is ready then for green flag in quali. As we'll get all the telemetry up so you can see everything tires and fitted, how quick they're going through the sectors. And the qualifying session has begun then, as you can hear the crowd roaring. Now we just need to wait for the engines to start roaring. And who's going to go out first? Is it going to be a Mercedes, Ferrari, or will it be one of the Williams cars or one of the midfield cars like McLaren? We're going to have to wait a little bit as people are changing a few of the cars, and I can hear a Red Bull engine. I believe that is Tyler Thomas and Tim actually as well. So the Red Bull crew already want to get their cars out, and it looks like Ferrari also with Tom is also going to go out as well. Both Red Bulls are out then. I believe Tyler Thomas is the lead Red Bull then. So we'll stay on board with him. He has a broken thumb, so hopefully he can get a good result. It's the first driver in IRL to actually drive injured with a broken bone of some sort. As Tim there is trying to get some warm heat in his tyres. He is on the soft tyre as well, which is going to be very interesting because usually the strategy in a 50% race is medium to hard. Now you can do a two-stop, which I believe some of the quick guys are possibly going to do. Medium soft, I believe, or medium hard. Or they could try the one-stop, medium to hard. I think some of the slower guys like Tyler Thomas, I think, who's a bit slower than the F1 guys a little bit, I think with the engine out, I think he's going to risk a one-stop. That's why he is on the hard tyre, of course, at the moment. But it is Q1, so maybe he's trying to get a bank collapse so he can go on the softs and literally pick up the pace, because Q2 is your qualifying tyre, which you'll start the race if you're in the top 10. And here comes Tyler Thomas then, on board on his lap. Nice and tidy through turn 1. Keeps it within track limits, no invalidation, which is great to see as he's now coming into turn 2 now. Nice and tidy there. Into turn 3, bumps the curb a little bit. Oh, goes off a tiny bit there. Somehow doesn't invalidate, and we did see a massive crash this season in IRL C7 F1 between Ash, Dane and Jack Laverty there. And hopefully there's no crash like that in this race, as here comes then Tyler Thomas into the hairpin corner. Just to gear 1. Just a bit cautious there on the throttle and the turning inputs. There's already yellows. I believe that is a Ferrari there, slowing down. On an onboard view. Oh, unfortunately he has invalidated, and Tyler Thomas' lap is done and dusted. The next driver up, I believe, is Pedro. No, it's not. It's actually Jamie Morris, who isn't invalidated, so he will be the first person to set a lap time. And it looks like the other Red Bull behind has made a mistake as well. Jamie is looking for some strong pace, as he is quite quick when he don't make a mistake. Let's see how he can do in this quali session. Comes around the final couple of corners. What time will it be then? Looks a bit wide, keeps it within the track limits, and it's a 1:11.5. Decent lap there from Jamie. He will be happy with that. And he's the first person to set a lap time there, and I believe that is a Williams of Ollie Flavel, who's invalidated, unfortunately. Matthew Order then, the other championship challenger, as Cameron Young has joined then, so Cameron Young will be the next driver. But here comes Matthew Order in the Williams, which he won the championship in in IRL Season 7. Will he be able to win the Exhibition Series in the Williams as well? 111.4 takes provisional pole. Two drivers then managed to set a lap time at the moment. So we're going to go on board with Sean right now, who's in the Haas on hard tyres. Mumford there goes a 12.2 on set of soft tyres into third place in the racing point. Let's see how Sean does then as the Renault there gets out of the way. Just nice tie there through the hairpin corner. That's right, now then he's into turn 11. Ooh, not a good exit though. Approaching turn 12, which is my favourite corner off the track. We've got a very good run, you could make a move into the race. As a few more people have set lap times then. Logan is in 5th with a 12.3, Tim is in 6th with a 12.8, and Shane in the Toro Rosso, I believe, is done a 13.3 on mediums. And Baboon J does 11.8 on soft tyres, moves up to 3rd place. Sean goes to 9th with a 14.3 on hards. And now Tom Jules just set a lap time of a 13.3 on soft tyres in the Ferrari. People now setting quick lap times as Pedro takes 2nd with 11.4 there. A couple hundredths off Matthew Walder's time. So we're going to go on board with Luke Baker then, who is on a lap as we see. Oh, and he's invalidated, which is unfortunate for him. As Nino Romanello, good luck guys, hope it's an interesting race, and I do too. It's a shame that you can't be here, but you will be returning possibly next season. So unfortunately Luke Baker then has invalidated. Somebody's just set a lap time, I believe that was Cooper. Cooper's just done a 12.4. Adam was on a lap, but he's made a mistake there, so he's now backing off his lap then. Let's see who is actually on a quick lap. Probably say Sean again. He's in 0 ERS at the moment, so he's probably preparing for another lap. Oh, there's yellows there. Is that... That was an Alpha. Was that Kevin? The former IRL F2 champion. It is Kevin. He's out of fuel. Kevin is completely out of fuel and he's in 9th place right now. People in the drop zone though is Delta, Ollie Favell and Luke Baker right now. Luke Baker then I think's on another lap. This time he doesn't invalidate turn 1, which is great to see, as we've seen how he takes turn 1, 2 and 3. Short shift there a little bit. Oh, rear kicked out a tiny bit. It's going to lose a little bit of time. Those hard tyres aren't the grippiest compared to the softs. He's going down the big long straight. Into the hairpin corner of turn 6. Goes to 2nd gear there. The only person I've noticed who's gone to 2nd gear. I used to do it, of course, but then Matthew Order did say 1st gear is quicker. Alright, now Luke Baker's finding 2nd gear maybe quicker for him then, as we go now past the Mercedes grandstand. Oh, a bit of the rear end there, kicked out a little bit, but he keeps it under control. As there's Kevin's slow car. Here comes Luke Baker though, now ready to set a lap time to get out of the drop zone. Nice camera angle there as we see the Mercedes up there at the moment. Brandon hasn't set lap time yet, so Luke Baker will be jumping his teammate at the moment. Here comes Luke Baker then. A 1:14.6 goes 14th place. A couple of tenths off Sean, who did the same tyre, but a similar time, 14.3 on those hards. As Brandon Glover is out on a out lap right now, but Ollie Favell was on a quiet lap, but unfortunately he isn't. Has he invalidated? No. But he's prepared for a lap, so we will stay on board with Ollie then. As there's a Red Bull off. Is that Tyler? It is Tyler Thomas. He has to watch out for Ollie. Luckily Ollie isn't on a lap, and Ollie is actually peeling into the pits. So no one's on a lap except Luke Baker then, so we'll go on board with Brandon Glover. He is on the soft tyre with 2nd place in the championship. Got a lot of chances to win this if Matthew and Ollie don't perform well. Here comes Brandon then. Already invited straight away into turn 1. He's trying to really nail that turn 1, and Brandon had a unfortunate qualifying incident in IRL F1 with Ollie where they both ran into each other, and I believe both of them actually retired in the quali because of that. Brandon then already invited on his first run, but I believe Tim's actually on the lap. So we'll go on board with Tim then. Currently sitting in 10th place with a 12.8. Could improve. Let's see what his split time is in Sector 2 then. With yellow flags into the hairpin. I believe that's Brandon just letting the Ferrari through. Let's see how much he's up on his time. Currently 1 and a bit tenths up. Could possibly promote him 1 position to 9th unless he gets a good final sector and somehow gains a lot of time. But I think this will be a 12.7, possibly a 12.6, 8. Here comes Tim then, round the final corner, nails that last corner then, to the line. It's 12.629, so he does improve by a couple of tenths, but only gains 1 position, moves to P9. Kevin Harrison then drops to P10. And the fastest tyres everyone has qualified so far, the highest medium runner is Kevin Harrison in 10th. The highest hard runner is actually Sean in 13th. The highest soft runner, of course, is Matthew Alder in first place with 11.4. People who haven't set lap times yet, though, is Brandon Glover, Tyler Thomas, Adam, Delta, and Ollie Favell. As we'll go on board with Adam, actually, who is on a lap. Sir Ramick has joined. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll be able to get a seat if he's actually racing. Adam then goes to 6th place then with a 12 flat. So a very good lap time and quite safe for Q1 it looks like, with only 7 minutes and 26 seconds remaining of the session. As Brandon Glover then, I believe, is on another lap. Let's see how he can do, as he has a Ferrari just ahead of him. I believe that is Tom Jewell who's on a lap. Let's see how he can take this. He's going to get a little bit of dirty air from the Ferrari, which may cost him a couple of tenths, but he only needs to make it through this session, because the next session he's going to try and get into top 10 either with the mediums possibly or the softs. I don't think Brandon will try the hard tyre since he has a championship to win. He's going to be aggressive today, I think. Coming to the line, and it's a 1:11.1. Aggressive indeed. 3 tenths there quicker than Matthew Alder. Already Brand is showing his pace, and telling Matthew he has the pace to win the championship, but it is only Q1. These guys could be actually just banking this and maybe set quicker lap times further on the qualifying session. Tom Jewell then, I don't believe improved. He stays 14th now. Luke Baker in 16th. Tyler Thomas, Delta, and Ollie Favell all in the danger zone. Oh, Ollie Favell makes a mistake. So will this cost him time and not promote him up to a position? So he's managed to keep it within track limits this time. As we'll stay on board with Ollie. Tyler Thomas is not that far behind, as we'll jump on board with Tyler Thomas after Ollie's set a lap time. Here comes Ollie then. A 1:12 in 7th place. And Tyler Thomas takes 9th, so 12 flat from Tyler Thomas. Ollie Favell goes 7th. This now drops Shane, Luke Baker, and Delta now in the danger zone, which isn't good to see, as we see Delta's actually on an outlap in the Ferrari. And we've seen traumatic days for Ferrari today in actual Austria qualifying. Hopefully Ash doesn't see this and get a bit upset. Hopefully the Ferrari can make it through Q1, as right now they're 16th and 19th. So we'll go on board with Shane then, who has invalidated at the moment. But Baboon J is on a lap. He's currently a couple hundredths up on his time in Sector 1 in the McLaren, as we've seen the McLaren today get into 4th in Austria. Let's see what Baboon J can do for McLaren. As we have 13 viewers, which is awesome to see. If you guys want us to put your predictions down, who's going to be ahead in which qualifying session or in the race, you'll put them down in the comments. As right now then, Baboon J is coming up to Sector 2, about to start Sector 3, and he's up by still a couple of hundredths, but he's purple apparently in Sector 1, so Sector 2, so he needs to find a lot more time if he wants to challenge Brandon Matthew Alder up there. Oh, Baboon J's off. Oh, and that's a heavy impact. Somehow he is not out, and he is very lucky. That was a big impact. And that's going to be that quality run over, and he's going to have to quickly come into the pits if he wants enough time as I believe that was a racing point of Mumford then, who is about to start his lap. We will go on board with him very shortly after, as I believe Delta actually isn't on a lap then. What about Shane? Shane is up on his time by almost a second, so we could see a 12.3, maybe a high 11. Let's see what Shane can do then. We'll do the final couple of corners and then we will jump on Mumford. Here comes Shane then. Oh, a little mistake through the final corner. And a 12.4 moves to 13th place. Tom Jewell, Luke Baker and Delta now in the drop zone, as we will go on board with Mumford in 10th. Oh, and unfortunately it hasn't validated. And that is a shame to see. Will he have enough time to make it back to the pits to set another run, or will he stay out? Shane isn't on a qualifying run, but he's in 13th. Is safe at the moment. Delta though is on a lap this time. He hasn't invalidated, so we'll stay on board with him this time. See if he can get the Ferrari into Q2. Going down the big long straight into the hairpin corners. Now we see Tim and Tom Jewell also going out on outlaps as we speak. As Mumford then is on a lap, but unfortunately his lap is invalidated. Same as Shane's. As Baboon Jane has retired then, so he will be back in Q2. At the moment he's quite safe in 6th place, so I don't expect him to be dropped out. But here comes Delta then. There's a lot at stake right now. One mistake, one invalidation, and that's game over for him, and he'll be knocked out at Q1. A nice nose cam. He doesn't do a Vettel. And here he comes up through the final couple of corners. As Dylan comes to the line. It's a 13.7. He isn't safe unless he does another lap. But I think that's definitely an invalidation there, and he is 18th at the moment. What about Tom Jewell, who's currently on a lap? Maybe, is anyone else ahead of him on laps? No. The next person who is on a lap after him is actually the Red Bull of Tim, who's currently 15th. Oh, and that's it. Both Ferraris are making mistakes then. And Tom Jewell is cracked under pressure and gone into the gravel in 17th, so the Ferraris don't look safe right now. As we'll go on board with Tim then, who is on a lap as we speak. There's a Mercedes right behind him, which I believe is Luke Baker. It is Luke Baker. A nice shot of the halo as the Mercedes there knows he needs to make a good lap. Only a minute and a half left of the session, as there's a lot of people now on out laps. Stay on board with Tim. Let's see how much he's up in sector 2 then. He's coming up to the Mercedes grandstand. His best lap time is on the softs as well with a 12.6, so only by a couple of tenths, and he is safe. He's safe anyway, but he'll be in a better position not getting knocked out. Also, Kevin Harrison needs to improve on his lap as well, because he's in danger if Luke Baker does improve by a lot. And here comes Tim then, through the final 2 corners. He's going to get a little bit slipstream from the racing point to the line, and it's a 12.3, goes 13th, so he does improve by a bit. What about Luke Baker? Luke Baker is on a lap now. Now he will be full attack as Billy Mossam then has retired from the session. He is safe in 12th place. Delta has retired, so it looks like both Ferraris aren't going to make it into Q2, which is a shame. And they're going to have to wait for the qualifying sessions to end to get on with their race. As here comes Luke Baker now. He's getting a little bit of try from the Red Bull there. Red Bull moves out of the way. Very clean racing there from Tim. So a little bit of slipstream as well. And I believe that's Kevin Harrison right behind Luke Baker. It is. So if Luke Baker improves, he needs to pray that Kevin Harrison doesn't improve as well, unless Luke Baker jumps him by a lot and gets within the top 10. At the moment his time is up by 1.1 seconds right now, which would be a 13.6. I don't think it'll be enough to challenge Kevin, especially if he improves, as people have finished lap times right now. There's only a few more finishing their runs, and I believe Sean now is coming up to the line, and he goes 7th with 11.9. Here comes Luke Baker then. Goes 17th, he's out, and Kevin Harrison does improve, goes 2nd place with 11.3. So Luke Baker then is in 17th, and I believe everybody's safest keeper now is mowing the lawn in his racing point. Must have a new job. And here comes Shane then, as Adam is actually about to finish his lap as well there. And then we will go on board with Ollie, see if he improves on his lap. Adam stays in 10th, Shane moves to 12th, Ollie peels into the pits, and that is Q1 then, over and done with. As now we will move to Q2 as we wait for Ollie to retire. And the people who aren't going to make it in to the next qualifying session is Luke Baker, Tom Jewell and Delta. So a Mercedes and both Ferraris, which is a shame to see. But it's unfortunate for those three drivers. They had pace there, they just couldn't get the grips on the track. And it's a big shame for Luke Baker because he improved by a lot, but not enough just to get into Q2. So we see then in the first qualifying session then Brandon does a 1:11.1, the quickest in the first qualifying session. Will that change? Will Matthew Order be up there? Kevin Harrison in second, Matthew Order takes third, Pedro fourth, Jamie in fifth, Logan takes sixth, Baboon J in seventh, Sean in eighth, Ollie Favell in ninth. So is this the pace we're expecting from Ollie Favell in Germany today? Adam in 10th, Tyler Thomas in 11th, Shane in 12th, Mumford 13th, Billy in 14th, Tim in 15th, Cooper in 16th, Luke Baker 17th, Tom Jewell in 18th, and Delta 19th. And I was actually wrong, Cooper actually didn't make it either into Q2, which is a shame. So Racer Point, 2 Ferraris and a Merc didn't make it in, which is a shame to see. So 4 drivers will have to watch Q2 and Q3 and trying to see how the drivers do adapt. Best person possibly to watch is Matthew Alder. He has got the pace to be up there. As now we were having 19 drivers, we're now down to 15, as I've got to bring all the telemetry up yet again. As we now got 14 minutes and 50 seconds remaining of this session. As Red Bulls yet again are going out quick early, one's on mediums, one's on softs, and I believe Tyler Thomas isn't the first Red Bull to be out. I believe this time it's Tim. No, it's not. It's actually Tyler Thomas, actually still on the medium tyre. He made it into Q2, which is great to see, with a broken thumb as well, which is awesome to see Tyler Thomas to handle that injury while he's racing. Now this is the important qualifying session. Will the fast guys like Matthew Alder, Brand, Ollie Favell, Pedro, Jamie Morris possibly go on the mediums, qualifying them, try and make them in the top 10, and if some of them can't, they will have to go soft tyre, because it will be interesting, the strategy, as I don't know what the race could be like. Could be a full wet race. Right now though, Tyler Thomas is leading. I believe that is actually Sean right behind him, or is that Logan? Well, it was actually Billy Mossam then, as Ollie has rejoined the session, so hopefully he can go out on track very shortly, as you can leave and rejoin in quali, which is in the race you can't, with the glitch of course. And here comes Tyler Thomas then, through the final corner, gets a good exit as he's about to start his qualifying 2 lap, and will he take provisional pole this time? And nope, he's already invalidated, which is a shame, and he won't be after that as he's gone off a little bit, as he just destroys the brake marker boards there. As Mumford then, I believe, hasn't invalidated, but 1 Billy Mossam right now, 16 flat in sector 1. There's yellows, I believe that's Tyler Thomas there making a mistake. There's also yellows in sector 3, I believe cars slowing down to have enough space to do their quality runs. See how Billy then takes the hairpin. He goes to gear 1 as well, bit late as Luke Baker has left the session. Hopefully he can return. That was just lag issues, hopefully he can return quickly as possible. As now we see Billy Mossam then running a bit wide into the Mercedes grandstand. There's a McLaren there which has gone off. Now I believe that's Baboon J. That is a very dangerous area to lose it, as we did see Brandon Ollie crash into that section as well. As here comes Billy then, who will set the provisional first lap time in Q2. Will it be an improvement of what anybody else set? Let's see then. Does a 13.2, not that quick to be fair, and Sean already beats that. Does a 13.3. So a good lap for him as we'll go on board with Mumford in the racing point. Takes pole position with a 12.6. So a couple of tenths quicker than Kane, but Pedro destroys that lap time on a set of medium tyres. There's a 12 flat. So that's good to see there for Pedro, as he did win this race in the wet. Can he win this race in the dry against Matthew Order? As Matthew Order, speaking of him, sets the new provisional fastest lap time, 1:11.8. Shane goes third with a 1:12.1. I think that was his quickest lap time at the moment. As we go on board with Brandon then, who's coming to the line. What time will it be? That's 12.4, takes fourth on the mediums. So he's probably trying to get into the top 10 on the medium compound of tyre. Adam then, who is done an invalidation, it looks like. Logan then is on a lap time. As Tim says, good lap, but with 10% tyres, it can't be fast. Well, it is 100% distance. The tyre life can last a little bit longer than the 50%. But remember, this is Q2, so you've got to make sure you nail your Q2 there, Tim. Speaking about a person who's nailing at the moment, who's currently the fastest in Sector 2, is Logan. An F2 driver. This season, he did very well for the couple of races he entered. I believe he replaced Jack Mir in the Toro Rosso. And I believe he got a win in his debut race in Japan. And here comes Logan then, 11.6, 1:0. 2 tenths quicker than Matthew Alder. And Matthew Alder then does 11.8 on the mediums. And the fastest time on Q1 was 11.1 on the soft tyres by Brandon Glover. As Ollie Favell then is on a lap. And did I just see that? It is raining in this qualifying session, which is very interesting. They did expect a little bit of rain. I got told possibility of rain was high. It is Germany and it is raining again. So people have to quickly set their lap times before the rain picks up. And Ollie has done the smart decision to go mediums. And he goes to the line. Takes 7th at the moment, which isn't a safe place to be. Tim then instantly retires. That is a dangerous place to be there in 9th. And could be out if people improve on their lap times. And Adam then coming to the line, as it looks like the weather is getting a little bit tricky. And he takes 13th. Isn't safe at the moment. And he just prays that the rain eases up a little bit as Billy then goes out on a set of soft tyres, as I believe his best lap time is on a set of mediums. Sally then now drops to 8th, as I believe Jamie Morris there improved, did a 12.4 into 6th place. So the guys who probably made a masterclass strategy is Matthew Alder, Pedro, Brand, Jamie Morris and Ollie Favell, and possibly Kevin Harrison if he doesn't get knocked out. As here comes Tyler Thomas then, who is on a lap this time. Hopefully doesn't invalidate. He doesn't. He needs to nail this lap if he wants to try and be in the final shootout in Q3, as it yells in Sector 2 in turn 6. I think that's just Kevin there slowing down to let drivers through. And here comes Kevin then. Sorry, here comes Tyler then, not Kevin. Coming all down that long straight. Probably moving a little bit in the straight there. Probably trying to get a little bit of heat in the tyres. As the rain is only spitting at the moment, isn't really an issue that much. Probably making the track a little bit greasy, but I think it'll be fine for the dries at the moment. As this yells in Sector 3, that is a Renault at turn 12. I think just backed off there or made a mistake. There's more yellows. There's an Alfa Romeo on the racing line. Hopefully he gets out of the way for Tyler Thomas. He does. Adam moves out of the way, which is good to see. Will Tyler Thomas be up and knock Kevin out in Q2? As Logan has retired, he is in first place, of course. He's set the fastest Q2 time. And here comes Tyler Thomas. What position will it be? It will be 14th. I don't think anyone will be improving then. The Baboon J then is on a lap now. As the rain is picking up a little bit now. I think too much for the dries to work. I don't think it isn't as yet, but I don't think the dryers will be up there, as Tyler Thomas did a 15.6, which isn't great. I believe that was slower than his last lap time, but here comes Baboon J then. round the final corner. What time will it be? It's not going to be up there, and it's a 14.2. Goes 14th place, only knocks Tyler Thomas down. And not really that much of improvement, and Billy has gone off, and he's mowing the lawn. What about Mumford then? Oh, the McLaren needs to get out of the way, and he does. Which is awesome. Mumford also was in IRL F2. He's got a lot on the line in the Racing Point. He was in the Toro Rosso. Maybe he's not used to the Racing Point, how it feels, but goes into the pits. So I believe qualifying is over. Jamie Morrison has gone to the set of intermediate tyres, but I don't think there's any need to go on the intermediates. I don't think anybody will be improving on their lap time. As Tyler Thomas then will be coming into the pits, and it is too wet now. You should see that Tyler Thomas tiptoeing that Red Bull, as Baboon J then has lost it. Well, Sondra lost it actually in battle with him and Felix in Germany Grand Prix. As Bill then has retired there, so Tim possibly retired at a reasonable space. He is safe. I don't think the rain is going to ease up anytime soon. And does that mean we have an intermediate Q3? Could this be where Pedro excels? And look at this, Baboon J has gone completely off there and has missed the pit lane. He's going to have to be careful that he doesn't get disqualified, and he's very lucky that he doesn't and comes into the pits. I believe a lot of people will retire the car unless they know the rain may ease up in the next couple of minutes. Oh, there's a Racing Point going out on the intermediate tyres. Maybe to get a little bit of practice for Q3 if the rain is going to be in Q3, of course. At the moment then, your top 10 at the moment is Logan in first with 11.6, Matthew Order second with 11.8, Pedro in third with a 12 flat, Shane in fourth with a 12.1, Brandon Glover in fifth with a 12.4 on the medium tyre, Jamie Morris in sixth with a 12.4, Mumford in 7th with a 12.6, couple of tenths off Brennan and Jamie. Ollie Favell in 8th with a 12.7. Will be happy to start on that tyre. Tim then in 9th with a 12.7, and Kevin Harrison with a 12.8 there. And Sean only needs to improve by a couple of tenths to possibly knock Kevin out. But this probably is a benefit there for Sean, Billy, Adam, Baboon J and Tyler Thomas there. And the rest of the field who didn't make it through Q1. They'll be on a free choice of tyre. And they could go hards and go medium. They could do a one-stop, and that could be a massive factor in this race, as we've only got 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining of the session. So it's only going to be a little bit of practice for Mumford then on the intermediate tyre. Nicely tidy X there from Mumford there in the Racing Point. Oh, he's lost it, and he's around there, and luckily didn't go into the pit lane because he would have hit that Toro Rosso. Hopefully he doesn't get disqualified, and no, he doesn't. Mumford then did spin already, as there's more cars coming out on a lap. I believe that was Shane who was actually coming out of the pits, and it was. I don't believe people will be saying any quick lap times then on these inters, unless somehow Adam and Sean beat Kevin Harrison on their lap times, as Kevin then is in 10th, Adam, is teammate for this race, is in 13th. So right now then, Adam is on a out lap, but we will go on board with Adam very shortly. We'll go on board with Jamie Morris, who's lost it through turn 2. And it's definitely not intermediates yet. I think it's possibly still in that crossover point. Unless the drivers are running dry setups and they have no grip at all. Adam also has invalidated. Is anybody not invalidated? We'll go on board with Shane, see if he invalidates turn 1. Nope, he stays on the track limits then. We'll go on board with Shane as he is approaching now turn 2 where Jamie Morris there spun around. And that Taros there didn't look as stable as the Renault. Yeah, it's definitely not softs anymore, dries anymore. He's almost 3 seconds off in sector 1. Ooh, he brakes a bit too late there, probably to try and get a better line, but it hasn't really helped him. He ain't going to improve. He's in 4th. As Matthew Order also on the intermediates is out on a lap, and actually quite surprisingly, Matthew, who's fighting the championship with Ollie, are in the same car, so maybe a bit of team battling, as Cameron Young has sent me a message on Twitter. Yes, mate, you can comment it. I'll send you an invite, as there is not really going on. Send you an invite right now. Just give us a sec. You should have an invite sent to you, Cameron.
Thank you very much, Jared.
You're welcome, Cameron. As I will have a co-commentator to this, I won't be all on my own, because it's going to be a long race.
It's a very long race.
Do you have any inside knowledge then for Q3? Is it going to be intermediate weather or anything like that, or no info?
At the start of Q1, I was in the party. I heard Brand say heavy rain to be expected, but I don't know if it will affect them. I think it's still going to be intermediates, but I think heavy rain could be expected, so keep an eye out for that one.
Okay, that'll be very interesting. We will keep an eye on that, of course. But with the qualifying at the moment, the people who are going to get knocked out: Sean, Billy, Adam, Baboon J and Tyler Thomas. Are you surprised that it's them who are going to get knocked out, or were you expecting a few others?
After Q1, I mean, I think Tyler Thomas is quite a surprise down there in 15th, and Baboon J in 14th, as they were quite high up. I know changed with conditions, but I'm expected for that. I'm also quite surprised by Ollie Favell. I was expecting him to be in the drop zone, considering he didn't have a great Q1. But, well, he's managed to pull something out of the bag.
Well, that is true, of course, and he is leading the championship, and your former teammate, we don't know as if he'll be your teammate in Season 8, Matthew Alder, do you think he's got a good chance to win the Exhibition Series title, as well as he did win the F1 title? It is Germany, of course, and if it does rain in Q3 and the race, the last person who won Germany in the wet was Pedro. Do you think he could win the championship with Pedro possibly waiting in the wings?
Yeah, I believe he can win. Obviously, he has the qualities of a champion. I believe the last time in the rain it was a bit unfortunate because obviously Faz made a brilliant strategy call to go on the wets, and Matthew was on the inters, which then obviously meant that even I caught him up in the end. So I believe he put out a stronger performance than what last time did. But although you have got to watch out for Bran and Ollie, just for the fact that they are very well. Obviously they're quick and they have got a lot of points ahead.
Well, that is true, of course, then. As we'll go down the grid order then. Logan then takes first with 11.6, not the quickest time we've seen. Brand did 11.1. Matthew Order then takes second with only a couple of tenths on a different compound of tyre. Pedro is in third, Shane is in fourth, Brandon takes fifth, who needs to win the race today, and Matthew Order needs to make mistakes if he wants to win the title. Jamie in sixth, Mumford seventh, Ollie Favell in eighth. Possibly a little bit of pressure on him right now, with Tim in ninth, Kevin Harrison in 10th. People who are in the not going to make it into the drop zone shootout in Q3 is Sean, Billy, Adam, Baboon J and Tyler Thomas. As we now will move up to Q3 then. Well, Cameron, your top three for Q3, who do you think is going to be up there?
I'm going to say Matthew, Pedro and Bran.
We're very similar. I think Matthew will top the qualifying sheets with Pedro second and Bran third, so I'm going to switch those two around. But it will be the same top three, of course, as we'll get all the telemetry up.
Tell you what, something I'm quite surprised about is Kevin Harrison is in Q3 on those mediums. Obviously, in Q1 he went out on mediums and did a lap. So, what risk is he taking those at? Unless it's a wet race.
Well, yeah, that is true. Of course, he was up on his time on mediums in Q1, and he did do a quicker lap time to get into Q2, and he said he only just made it into Q3 on mediums. But he probably didn't push that much with the changeable conditions, possibly noticing he could make it. But you could be right, could be a wet race, as at the moment it's raining quite heavy, and as you said, Bran said there might be wets near the end, but I don't think it will affect the drivers at the moment unless they have to go for wets like right now, because it is picking up the rain.
You can see it's picking up, but I mean, sometimes the intermediates are probably the quicker tyre, no matter what. But yeah, as I say, it is coming down very heavy.
As right now, then we will look on board with the two-time IRL F1 champion Matthew Alder, who is in the Williams, as he is the lead car in this qualifying session. I don't know if he'll let Kevin through, if he wants to give Kevin the first run. But at the moment, the first two qualifying sessions, we've had the guys at the front of the qualifying pack and invalidated straight away into turn 1. So will Matthew Alder do that, or will he be the first one to break that streak and get a good lap time on the inters before possibility of heavy rain? Well, Karen, since you've joined comms, if you want to go on board with your former teammate on board his lap.
Alright, so coming into here, you want to probably go down to second, but I mean, yeah, it's very, very slow from here. You've got to be very, very on traction, especially in the wet. He gets a good run out of there. Obviously, purple for the first sector because he's the first one. On into Parabolica and then into the hairpin. You want to get your braking on absolutely smack bang on, otherwise you're going to be understeering a lot, and which Matthew's got a very good run out of there. Coming into here, let's see if he understeers wide. No, it's quite a nice line there from Matthew. Ooh, bit of oversteer on the exit. So far though, it's been quite a good lap. Purple again, but obviously he's the first man to start a lap. Looks very, very timid. Maybe it might be time for wet. I don't know.
That could be a possibility.
But coming through on a couple of corners, around the final corner, little down third, across the line. 22.2.
Well, it's quicker than Kevin there by over a second. Brandon then does a 22.9. Jamie goes third with a 23.2. And good evening, Sparks. Welcome to the stream. It's good to see you here. Hopefully you're cheering on your CRG teammate, Matthew Alder.
Hello, Vincent.
But yeah, I think it might be wet. Actually, to be fair, you might be right.
Yeah. The everyone seems to be quite a fair bit off Matthew.
Well, this isn't good news for Ollie because he's the last person to set lap time with clean air, though. Of course, a lot of clean air. Will he surprise us? Ooh, bit of a mistake there. 24th lap. Yeah, I think it's full wets, possibly approaching in the next couple of minutes. Oh, and he loses it.
Ollie could be in trouble here.
Yep, he's done what Brandon did in season 7, if you do remember that, when those two came to blows.
Yeah, very unfortunate there.
But he kept it under control. But right now, Brandon is sitting where he needs to be, second place, 22.9. Bit off the pace from Matthew Alder though. As I believe Matthew will peel into the pits, as he basically knows his job is done. I don't think anybody else will improve on their lap times.
Oh, Mumford's just gone round as well, coming through the long right hander.
Oh, he's gone off again. Near the Vettel corner. I think he's out of fuel, to be fair. Yeah, he's out of fuel.
Yeah. Well, Faz has done another lap.
Oh, he does. He proves a little bit. 23.4. So maybe it might be just in between the crossover point between the inters and wets.
Yeah, Jamie Morris is on another lap as well. It's interesting because it does look like he's coming down heavier.
Yeah, it does look a lot like it's Delta has left the session. Hopefully he can make it back. As I believe we have a full grid, because I believe somebody else joined Sir Haramic, I believe. We should have a full grid for the full race.
Oh, Oliver Valve nearly hit the pit wall.
Ooh.
Into the end of it.
I've done that at the exit.
He's having a rough time. He's having a very bad time.
Yeah, it's definitely full wets. Jamie's like 2.5 tenths off his lap time in sector 2, and you can just tell with the rain it's really picked up. Right now,
or end of Q3.
Yep. But it could be a very interesting race with how the championship may go, as Ollie has, I believe, 11-point advantage to Matthew. So,
Yeah,
I believe a 9-point gap to Bran. Yeah, it's definitely wets. Logan's gone on full wets now, and same with Tim. But I don't think he can improve on those full wets.
Yeah, I don't know if these guys will improve. Depends how bad he actually was on their lap.
Yeah, to be fair, their dry times were 11s, so it's... I probably would have expected probably similar times to Matthew and Brian with the intermediates, to be fair.
Yeah, we could actually get quite an interesting end to Q3, just because if it really is that bad, and those inters were not the tires to be on, you have a lot of people improving on their laps.
Well, that's true, of course. We will have Tim then to prove us that. Oh, he makes a mistake. No, he peels into the pits. But I believe that is Matthew, Alder, or Ollie.
Ollie Favel's back on inters.
So maybe he thinks it's still inters then. Maybe it possibly may dry off in the next couple of minutes, but I highly doubt that.
Yeah, there's a I think it's Mumford. Yeah, I think Mumford's coming out of the pit as well. He's on the wet tyres.
So we've got one driver on intermediates, one driver on full wets. But I'll tell you one thing, though, Ollie will be kicking himself if he loses the championship, as he has led the championship against Matthew. I believe it'll be Matthew's first time if he loses an exhibition championship. As I just noticed there, he had a bit of a struggle there near the Mercedes grandstand a little bit.
He's very wet out on track. He started struggling through turn 1 as well. He's struggling there.
Bit of a kick out. Yeah. I think these guys either practicing intermediates just to see if the track does improve, or they have an indication that the race is possibly going to be wet.
I think the rain's starting to cool down because Faz has also come out on another set of inters. But is it already wet enough to affect the grid?
Oh, Ollie almost loses there through turn 1. Mumford's off. Out of turn 12, he's mowing the lawn again.
Shane is out on wet as well. Ollie might get a slipstream from him. He's too far back.
He's only 2.5 tenths down in his lap though, so he hasn't lost that much time. See how he takes the hairpin. Now you might be right actually, to be fair, it looks like the rain's eased a little bit. But I think it's eased a bit too late to possibly make the inters start to work.
For Ollie's case, he is hoping very much so that it has cooled off, just for the fact that it's going to be quite hard to get through the grid.
Mumford's gone off in turn 1 there, it looks like.
Ollie's 5 tenths down his lap. Doesn't look like any improvement at all, and the top two have not been players to come out whatsoever.
It's true, of course. It's Ollie Farrell then. Yep, just let Twitch there, and the Williams, it's just not ready. Oh, and he loses it. Almost there. Through the final corner, he's still trying to save the car there.
I think he'll go for another lap. Just the fact that Faz was only a 10th down for the first sector.
Interesting. We'll go on board with Faz then if you want to go on board with his lap. Oh, that's a shame.
Maybe it is. That's it. Maybe it is fully timed for the wets, or maybe it's just too wet. Although, as I say that, Brandon Glover has just come out on intermediates.
That is true, of course. He's going to be. I think he'll be the last person to do a lap, possibly. Matthew isn't coming out. He's staying in, and he won't be able to go back out within time. There's yellows in sector 2 and 3. I believe both Reynolds slowing down.
Yeah, Faz is just preparing himself for a lap.
Well, if you want to go on board with Faz then, as he's about to start his lap and go over how he can handle those intermediates.
So obviously, turn 1 is going to be very, very tricky. See how nicely taken actually. Bit of sliding on the exit, but overall good turn 1. Says yellow flags in sector 3. Through here, oh, it's very slightly. Although he's a 10th up, so maybe the rain has cooled off quite a bit, and I mean, Matthew could be in trouble. Go through now into the hairpin though, and hits his apex quite nicely. Has quite control on the power, knows when to get on it or not. Oh, a bit of sliding us through that. So managed to keep the car up. Short shifting quite a lot, which means maybe it is a bit wet. Oh, he's invalidated his lap.
And he still was up on his time by a couple of hundreds. Shane retires then. Oh, Mumford's off the track as well. Oh, actually, Fires has done a Vel. Not hit the wall. Ollie then is 2/10 down apparently in sector 1. What about sector 2? Yeah, he's very cautious there with that throttle in 4th gear, but he's up by 2/10 in sector 2.
The rain's cooled down massively. Matthew could be in trouble.
Well, Ollie needs to prove by 2 seconds to challenge Matthew. So Ollie needs to find a lot of time through this final corner. So here he comes then. What time will Ollie do? Will he be able to get closer to Matthew? Goes 7th with a 23.6, only improved by 3 and a bit tenths.
Brandon Glover's come around the final corner.
He's apparently down in sector 2. Yeah, unfortunately doesn't improve. Jamie's actually 2nd. Wow. And usually Brandon's actually good in the wet conditions, but Jamie's just showed him he has a bit more pace. So it's very good to see Jamie Morris there in 2nd place. Well, then we got one of our predictions right, I believe, and I believe you said Brandon 3rd, or was it me? I can't remember.
I think no, it was you that said Brandon 3rd. Yeah, it was you.
So Matthew Order then takes 1st in the intermediate Q3 at 22.2. Jamie takes 2nd with a 22.9, and Brandon 3rd with a 22.964 as well. So only a couple hundreds between them two. Logan in 4th, Pedro 5th, Kevin Harrison in 6th, Ollie Favell in 7th. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to try and win this championship. Mumford in 8th, Tim in 9th, and Shane is in 10th with a 24.1. 1.8 seconds slower than Matthew. Well then, as we're now about to get on board with the race, how long's the race in laps? Because I forgot.
67 laps.
Very long race then.
A very long race ahead.
Please don't rain.
Everybody get your popcorn out. We are in for a long... Oh, it is bone dry.
But we could see possibly rain near the end.
Let's just hope not for our sakes.
Yeah. But right now then, while we wait for everybody then to get their strategies and stuff like that. As Heramic there will be able to pick a setup, hopefully.
It's quite interesting. I feel like a lot of drivers are probably going to try the medium hard strategy, but I think maybe people might try and two-stop it to like a medium soft.
Well, yeah, I think the top two will probably do that. Two-stop. Brandon and Matthew are quick enough to be doing the two-stop strategy. Ollie, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I think he'll try a one-stop if he did. He qualified on the medium, so he could do the one-stop, mediums to hard. As I believe we have 20 drivers, do we?
Yeah, 20 all on the grid.
Yep.
All here.
And it's good that we don't have any glitches, which is awesome. So then, the top 10, as you did know in Q3. And then Q2, Sean is going on a set of medium tyres with Billy Mossam on softs. Adam is on a set of hards, the only person on hard tyres. Interesting. So he needs to pray that he doesn't get wing damage into turn 1 to try and make this strategy of a one-stop work. Boom J in 14th on softs. Tyler Thomas, Cooper, Luke Baker, Tom Joe all on mediums. And then Delta and Sir Heramic on soft tyres in 19th and 20th.
Alright, two things I'd like to point out. Adam, if he can keep his front wing, as Billy Mossam and right, okay. Yeah, as Billy Mossam has been disqualified from the formation lap. As if he was trying to overtake the Haas. But yeah, Adam, if he can keep his front wing quite well, obviously, if he can keep it on and not get any damage, that alternate strategy might be a very good one for him. And then the second thing is Epic on softs. And 100% softs for the first couple of laps are actually okay, so I think Brandon might be in trouble.
Yeah, that is true actually. If Logan gets a great start on those softs, they can last a bit longer than the 50%. And Logan will have to do a two-stop, I think. I don't think soft to hard will work unless he can surprise us. As now we wait for the drivers now to line up the grid. And Cameron, when they all line up, can you just look near midfield, near the back for turn 1, just so there's no massive crash I miss?
What has happened with Mumford?
Why is he glitched? Oh no, he's in his position.
Oh, that's a bit of DC for me, he's glitched.
Right then, as I look at the fronts, Matthew and Jamie are lining up first and second. Wait for the light sequence to start. Lights are now starting to go. We're now to 3 lights, 4 lights, now 5 lights. Lights to go off. It's German Grand Prix, the last German race we will see for a while in the Expedition Series, and it's underway. There's a Red Bull off the track there. That's Tyler Thomas.
Avoiding action, I think someone had a slow start in front of him.
And it was a very slow start. There's a racing point further behind, 3 wide almost. And let's see how everyone takes. Oh, there's a Haas going completely off the track.
I think it's a lot of lag from Tom Jewell's side, or maybe Sir Heramic. But Sir Heramic's had a good start, but he's on the soft tyres.
That is true, of course. And JME is already taking the lead. Partly into turn 1, challenging Matthew Older. Matthew probably won't expect. Oh, there's a bit of contact there between Matthew and JME.
Oh my, a lot of contact at the back. Oh dear me. And that is not acceptable from Delta at all.
What has happened?
Delta's nearly put Sir Heramic in the wall. That is not acceptable.
If it gets reported, the admins will deal with that. You save your footage as well, actually, to be fair, in case it doesn't, just to have it looked at. Tom Jewell there and Baboon J battling it out, a bit of lag, as you did say, as the, well, big lag. That's
a lot of lag.
Definitely going to need fixing. As Jamie Morris then sets new fastest lap since he's in front. I'm very surprised actually with Jamie to take the lead already, and as you did say, Brandon was in trouble by Logan. Logan's already into 3rd and challenging Matthew Older in this race.
I think Jamie's using a bit more ERS than Matthew. Obviously he's in overtake now, but yeah, Jamie's already on 60%. Oh dear, Tom Jewell's already picked up a time penalty. It's not great.
Oh, there's yellows actually. There's a Ferrari. That's Tom Jewell actually as well. I think he's gone off. So there's no overtake made, so we'll look aboard Tom Jewell. Has he got wing damage? Yes, he has. I think he's lost a bit of his end plate.
I wonder what's happened there then.
I think he's just lost it out of turn 3 and just gone into the wall like Lewis Curtis did. But right now though, the Renault is staying ahead of Matthew for an extra lap. Matthew may not be pushing at the moment to try and see how long these mediums can last.
Billy's made a very good move there. To the right hand there.
There's yellows in sector 3, there's a VSC. Oh, and there's been a crash actually with Luke and Delta.
Yeah. Oh wait, no, I think that's a decent Mumford nearly crashed into Luke.
Unfortunately, Mumford is in 10th for me, so he isn't.
Yeah,
all he's in the pits.
I'll ignore Mumford. So is Tyler Thomas.
This isn't good. This isn't good for Ollie, as at the moment his championship hopes are not looking so good.
Oh, it's a front wing change as well. Oh dear.
Go and set Hards though. I don't think Hards can go to the end, so he's possibly hoping for a safety car. And he's been released.
Have to hope for a safety car right now. Weird call. Tyler Thomas came in, didn't have front wing damage, and went on another brand new set of mediums.
So he's definitely doing the 2-stop and medium hard. Right now, unfortunately, you can't see this battle, but there's a little battle between Mumford and Baboon J for P9. Going to the Mercedes grandstand.
Sorry for Carlson. Tell you what, Adam has actually had a very good start. He's kept his front wing, and he's moved up 1 position.
Which is good news, and we'll see that actually the position gains. The biggest position gainer is actually Baboon J with 5, and Adam's actually gained 2 positions actually, apparently, in 11th. And the biggest loser is actually Ollie. He's lost 9 positions as Pedro sets the new fastest lap. So Pedro's picking up the pace a little bit then. So there's a fight for P3. Those softs maybe now starting to wear out. Oh, Logan tried this cheeky move there. Turn 3.
Oh, Branner's not got the TRS though. Logan's got a good run. Oh, Kevin Harrison's getting into the mix as well.
Unfortunately, I didn't get the best camera view.
Nearly,
he got hit.
Lines.
Pedro hit Logan there a little bit. Couldn't make the switch.
Very big. Oh, his yellow was the second one as well.
I think that's Tom Jewell.
Yeah.
He's getting nice
though. Oh. Gotta leave a bit of space. Good racing between these two. Can Kevin get the move done? Needs to have been side by side for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's good defensive manoeuvre from Bran. Managed to keep the position.
It's true. The battle we did miss. Matthew Order then just took the lead again. And Bran into turn 1. That is a very daring move. And it's still side by side, these two. There's the Haas there trying to go on the outside of Bran.
Yeah, Pedro's got a very good run coming out in the corner through Parabolica. I think Kevin is in quite a bit of trouble.
Will Pedro dive it? Nope. Brandon's going to dive it, and Kevin there locks up a little bit. Oh, and look at Logan.
Oh, that is a masterclass from Logan.
Oh, there's been a contact between Kevin and Bran there. Kevin didn't see Bran on the inside, and Bran didn't have to give him space because Kevin was already off the track. Kevin was looking up to swipe Bran.
That's allowed Pedro to move through, which is not what Bran needs for the championship. He needs to be where Logan is, realistically, or maybe even where Jamie is. It's quite a big shame.
Bran needs to be second, I believe, with even Matthew winning the race to win the championship. Oh, Pedro makes a mistake, and Brandon says thank you very much, and gets the position and moves back into 4th place.
these lot fight that hard, the Boom J's going to come up to the back of them. I don't know if Mumford's still there, but Tim is within DRS range.
Tim's actually under threat actually from Mumford actually as well. So Mumford's actually in between Shane and Tim, as we'll go on board that fight as well. But with those battles with Logan, Bran, Pedro and Kevin, it's allowed the top two to pull away. And this is going to turn into a 3-wide move. Shane was thinking about it. Oh, and look at the Haas! Sean completely misses his braking zone. Luckily avoids the cars. We see there Cooper making a move on Adam. So his medium tyres are starting to kick in as they're going side by side. Oh, very close and personal between these two. As the scraps org, Adam's gone off and Cooper has got the position and moves up to 12th.
This battle for third is still very much there, and I think as they went through the hairpin, I think there was a bit of contact. I think they were nearly 4 wide going through into the hairpin, which is not what they want, and it's definitely not what Brand wants. And it looks as if he's actually trying to pull a bit of a gap.
That is true, of course, and actually I think I was wrong saying that Brandon needs second to win the championship, because third's 15 points, I believe. Yeah, so it's 10 points.
No,
so
third is 18. Third is 18.
Oh, is it? No. Second's 18.
No, yeah.
So third's 15, so it's only 10 points, and Brand's got 55 points, and actually I think he's got 55 points. Let me just check that.
Yeah, I think Brand's got 55 and Matthew's got 52.
Oh, so actually no, Brand needs to actually be ahead of Matthew then to win the championship. Because right now Ollie then is in 15th in no man's land. As the battle for P3 is spread out a little bit, as there's another big fight for P8 between Mumford, Tim, Sean, Shane and Cooper, and possibly Adam as well. As we'll go on board with that actually, I think this battle is a bit spread out a little bit now. If it does get closed back up, and we'll hop back on it as Mumford there is going side by side with Sean. As the Haas is trying to the final 2 corners on the inside. Unfortunately you can't see this as you're missing a nice fight for P9 right now. There's 5 cars there, you could just throw a blanket on them. And here comes Sean into turn 1. Oh, bit of contact, Sean is round into the wall, and that's big front wing damage. Ooh, luckily Gorson's on. If Gorson wasn't on, Luke would have been a goner. And
Cooper's lost it. Cooper's
round.
lost it on the exit.
Oh no, will that cause a safety car? Tyler Thomas has also binned it.
He's binned in the Vettel corner.
Oh, VSC. No full safety car.
Oh dear. That's not what Adam needs. 5-second pen, severe collision.
Oh, that isn't good there for Mumford, as he's lost a bit chunk of his wing. I've noticed also Baboon J's lost a bit of his wing as well, the right end plate.
Oh yeah.
And he is on soft, so I wonder if he might pit.
Oh wow, I think
a bit too late.
Yeah, I think you'll pit anyway.
No, he says out.
Never mind.
That's Jamie then. It's not losing too much time to Matthew, he's staying with him, and the gap to lead from Ollie Favell is 36.5 seconds. I believe the pit stop round here is 24. I believe. Something like that.
Yes, 23, 22.
Oh, here comes Jamie though. Goes provisionally into the lead. Bit of wheel bang, and there goes the cheeky move Matthew likes to make, trying to shove person off the track. And Jamie is not letting him do it, and they're going side by side right now on the mediums. Now I don't know if Matthew's just banking his pace right now or Jamie's really improved, because Jamie at the start of the season wasn't even close to Matthew, and right now he's challenging him for a possible win in this German Grand Prix. As here comes Matthew yet again, lunging it. Oh, bit of contact. Oh, shoves Jamie off there. no wing damage at the moment, as there's another fight further behind for third as well between a Renault and a Merc this time.
It's a bit weird how Kevin Harrison and Logan have dropped right off the back of that battle. 2.7 to Pedro.
Well, that is true, of course, but these two who are ahead of him are in F1. Kevin was top of F2. And these guys were quite high up in F1, so maybe it just might be the pace difference. Or unless he's already overheated his tyres. But here comes Jamie again. Matthew defends. There's still a bit of a gap. Oh, a bit of lag. Has to switch to the outside. Does the switch back. Matthew tries to cover him off. And there's Matthew with his short shifting technique to keep the position. Jamie still there. Will he dive it? No, he stays behind at the moment.
Well, actually, as we're on board with the front two, Faz has got past Bran.
Yeah, I've just noticed that as well. And Kevin's gained a little bit of time now on Bran, 2.6 seconds, gained a couple of tenths. Ceramic's got a 3-second time penalty.
I think Logan's tyres have just been shot. 1.5 now off of Kevin.
Yeah, I think he'll be pitting very shortly to go on the hards to the end. I think they could possibly make it as run on lap 10. Oh, for Matthew now it's lap 11. So Jamie runs a bit off there. As Pedro, ooh, Pedro gets a penalty. 3 seconds.
It's good for Brandon's sake, not for Pedro's sake though.
Ooh, that's 2 moves on the straight for Matthew Order. That's 3 he did actually. I don't know if he was breaking the slipstream or what, but he was weaving, which isn't really allowed. You only commit 1 defensive move. Delta's actually said in the IRL Expression Series chat there, Karen, sorry to interrupt you, my god, Haramick took me out, then I get no space from the Merc and I lose my wheel. Right, that's what's happened. But that's a bit of radio chat. And as you were saying, Cameron, as you were going to say.
Yeah, Jamie's got a lot more ERS than Matthew. He's got nearly 60% more. So I wonder if Matthew's going to let Jamie through and just let him burn all of his ERS so that Matthew can save it. I mean, he doesn't really need to, because the closest person in the championship is Bran and he's in 4th, so I think currently Matthew will win the championship. But oh dear, Jamie's just got a 30-second time penalty. But obviously Faz has already got 1 and Bran is 6 seconds behind, so that doesn't really matter for the minute.
Oh yeah, that is true, of course, and Matthew isn't impossible to get penalties, as we did see in Austria this season against Jay. He got a penalty in the final couple of laps. There's a lot of times Adam then moves up to 6th as Logan and Baboon Jay from their soft stint have peeled into the pits to go on a set of medium tyres. And Mumford actually made a pit stop to go on the softs, which is interesting.
Quite an aggressive strategy from Mumford.
Yeah, very quite aggressive strategy. Maybe meet soft hards, possibly.
Has Baboon Jay only just come out of the pits?
Yeah, he's just got ahead of Ollie, actually.
So I was on board with him, and it seemed like he was held for quite a long time.
Well, he did have a wing change because he had that end plate missing, and he's got a new front wing.
Oh yes, of course. I don't think Ollie Favell wants to fight this. He's a non-ERS.
No, but look at Jay. He just brakes a lot later, a lot more confident with the brakes, and there's a little bit of a nickname for Boom Jay, Dive Bomber. It's because in Japan against Paco Suarez there was a few dive bombs, a bit of contact between them two. But Boom Jay doing quite well at the moment in 10th, holding the championship points leader at the moment.
This could also help Shane out as well. Shane's just got in DRS range.
Side by side. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Oh, Ollie's gone.
Even more.
Ollie's round.
Ollie Favell's not going to be happy with that.
And he has to wait for the racing point to get through. And that is basically championship game over unless there's a safety car. And Matthew either retires with Brandon, as we have seen Matthew and Brand crash before in the Christmas Classic, I believe, in Japan.
Oh, Ollie's round again. His tyres are...
Oh, it's a shame. As he actually might get lapped, to be fair. Oh, Matthew very close to that wall there. Like, you could just put a pin at the width of a pin in between that. That's how close it was.
Fidels in the pits as well.
Hopefully he doesn't retire. Hopefully he keeps going, because anything can happen, of course.
Big shame for him is now though. He is about to be lapped.
Nope, and he has called it a day. So that is championship over then for Ollie, unless these two retire. Right now the championship doors are open then to Matthew and Bran, and Jamie has give up and had enough. And I think it'll be a sign of relief when he gets the 2020 game, which is coming out in a couple of days. And this will be the last IRL race on the 2019 game, which I'm kind of happy, to be fair. So right now though, the battle for the lead is still there, with Brandon still challenging Pedro for third. I think if Brandon was possibly a bit more smarter, stay a bit further behind, let Pedro pull away to try and catch up with Matthew and Jamie.
I think he might be doing that in a minute, because he's on 20% more
yellows
than Battle and
Aramic's out.
Retired. Same place Ollie Fidel spun. Could we see a safety car?
Possibility. Nope, no safety car. I'm very surprised on that, to be fair. It's a shame there for Ollie that he is out. Has he said anything? And I can also say he is not happy with Kevin either.
Well, I have to say for myself, I didn't see that, but
I won't say what he said because he's very, very furious. So we'll just keep that in.
I'd just like to point out, quite questionably from Jamie Morris, he's decided that even with the amount of ERS he's got, he's going to sit in none and not overtake Matthew Alder going into the hairpin.
Yeah, that is true, of course. I know this is a tactic what Matthew would do if he wasn't leading, to stay behind safety DRS, which is a thing on 2019 which I don't like. I'd like side by side most of the time. But Jamie's probably just saving his DRS, just making Matthew drag him along, as he's pulled away from Pedro now, 7.3 seconds, so it is working. But Jamie may later, when the pit stop window does approach, which I believe will be possibly in the 10 laps.
So, yeah, 10, 15 laps.
Something like that, and then he'll put his attack, because now he's in ERS mode 4 just to close up again. But then he goes back to ERS mode 2 in turn 1. So
he might want to try the undercut. Well, when it gets to around about lap 23, 24, he might want to try and undercut it, and then use all his ERS on his out lap, and then the lap before, lap after even. Although he's in ERS mode 4 now.
Yeah, I think he lost a little bit of time through turn 3 there. He run a bit wide, so probably just trying to stay with him with DRS, which I'm surprised Matthew's actually letting him do, because usually Matthew doesn't want someone behind him, he wants to pull away. And the only time I've seen him let someone be behind him is in Austria with Jay, so don't know, maybe this is just Matthew trying to relax today, have a nice chilled out race, and he knows the championship is up for grabs. But right now though, Bran is still staying behind Pedro. Kevin's gained a little bit again, 6.4, loses a little bit of time in a corner, it's now 6.5 again. Logan's actually closed up to Kevin though, 17.1 seconds. The battle further behind with Tim and Baboon J at turn 6. Baboon J's got that position.
Oh, wait, no, never mind, that's just Mumford for me desyncing.
Yeah, Mumford's in 12th right now. Just approaching turn 2, I believe, or yeah, he's approaching turn 2. Jamie's actually got ahead. I didn't even see that because I was paying attention where Mumford was, and that's a shame. Put Matthew there.
Looks like he's saved a lot more ERS.
Yeah, that is true. He's got 60. Possibility.
Sorry.
Could be possibility. He could do the undercut now. Probably listen to the radio of the stream. Possibly. I know he'd probably have that on. But yeah, he could do that, but he doesn't want to save too much ERS and let Jamie pull away out of that DRS, because then he's going to have to use that ERS to try and catch up. But Germany, in theory, is like Austria, though. If you're in DRS range, you wouldn't stay with that guy unless you've got strong pace and the other guy's tyres have fallen off the cliff. But right now, Matthew's lost a bit of time. 6/10 at the moment, biggest the gap's been between Jamie and Matthew.
Yeah, he keeps going wide at the run of the final corner. So maybe he is struggling with tyre temps. But looks as if no, he's going to sit back, save his ERS.
So he's now doing the Jamie tactic. But Jamie's also saving his ERS though, so he ain't really pushing either. But then he goes back in ERS mode 4 on the straight to try and pull away. Very interesting how Jamie reacts to this kind of pressure with Matthew, as the fight further behind with Baboon J getting past Luke Baker. Stay on board with now for a bit, since I don't think Matthew's going to make an overtake on Jamie very soon. Although there's a 3 wide fight for P9. Oh, now maybe a 2 wide fight for P9 now, as Baboon J's in 8th and pulled away a little bit. So here comes Tim. On the straight, but too far back at the moment. And actually, speaking about Tim, he's actually low on fuel. That's interesting. I wonder if he's trying to go low on fuel to try and save the tyre heating issue. And probably going lean, not really push that much. Because I did that in Singapore on the 2018 when tyre wear was an issue. But I don't really think tyre wear is really an issue with the heating either in Germany.
No, not really. I think maybe he's thought if I have a lighter car it's going to be a bit easier, kind of a bit faster on the straight, but it's a bit of a weird one. Personally, I like to overfuel the car quite a bit so I can push, but I mean at the minute it seems to work for him. He's in the points.
Well, that is true, of course he is in the points. He is a champion as well. When the summer season came along, he won the title that year. Unfortunately, we won't be doing like a summer season like that again. However, we'll be having a PT. Oh, actually, Luke's gone off and let him through. So maybe that was a tactic for DRS.
Yeah, he's back in overtake.
Yeah, maybe that was a tactic. I don't really understand that.
It was the outside one, not the inside. It's a good defender from Tim actually. Squeezes him, leaves him just enough room. Interesting though from Luke.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I believe these two have raced before against each other within F3, I believe these two are. So they're quite close on pace. Oh, there's the Toros there of Shane, runs a bit off the track. And I did miss it. Matthew is actually retaking the lead. Jamie is now 6/10 off Matthew, now 7/10. And the gap's increasing, so maybe Matthew's picked up the pace a little bit.
Jamie's used a lot of the ERS as well. Matthew's still sitting at 75 and Jay's down 65. But obviously the undercut still can whip from Jamie. But it looks as if Matthew's actually trying to pull away from Jamie. Gap now 8/10.
Yeah, that is true. Both of them were saving ERS there. Now Jamie's picked up a little bit of the ERS mode, gone into 2. As we're on lap 20, will any of them pit? That's what I want to know. No, so pit window isn't yet. Maybe a couple of laps time. There's still a fight for P9 though between Tim and Luke Baker. We'll keep an eye on as Shane's closing up on that fight. But Matthew has picked up the pace a lot more. Has almost pulled a second on Jamie now. Is this how Matthew Older just pulls a second away and goes for a quick pit stop and go to the hards to the end?
For me, he's now 1.1 away, which is quite weird because Jamie did not use overtake at all. I think Matthew is definitely pushing to try and break the DRS because he doesn't want to be in the DRS train for the rest of this race.
It's true, of course. Matthew there has pulled a stable enough gap though. Right now 1.2 seconds, but he's got traffic ahead of him which will ghost hopefully. Shane picks up a pen. And he's going to get DRS from Sean as well. He doesn't pit, so he's going to get a little bit more straight line speed.
He's lucky he'll get it through. Oh no, Sean's just letting him pass. Jamie though.
Yeah, Jamie might get it.
No, he's a bit too far back. Unfortunately for Jamie.
Yeah, that is true of course, and it's really unfortunate. We did think he had the pace, but it looks like Matthew was banking his pace a little bit. But he ain't got a lot of ERS, he's now saving a bit of it. And the gap's almost 2 seconds. And the blue flags are waiting for Sean then to let Jamie through to not get a penalty. As Brandon has caught a little bit on Pedro now, a little bit now. 4 and a bit tense. As this and which is the other battle? For 9th, there's another fight as well.
Oh, Luke's just lost it. Oh, he's out.
Oh, VSC. That's the 3rd VSC we've had. Oh, that's a big impact. And that's his front wheel completely gone off the car.
No actual safety car yet though. Oh, Matthew although he's in the pits.
Same with
So
Jamie.
is Jamie Morris.
Will
Yep.
Pedro pit though because his teammate's in? Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, they're double stacking, so he's going to lose a little bit of time with the double stack. Or can the Renault crew make a slick pit stop?
I think Franz has been quite smart. He's sort of backed up a bit so he doesn't lose as much time. I think Brandon might jump him though.
Yep.
Floor for the exit. Yeah, he just jumps him.
Only just, hasn't really lost that much time. As Kevin then moves up to 3rd, who doesn't pit. Interesting.
Strange tactic from Kevin Harrison.
Maybe he's trying to stretch those mediums a bit longer so he can definitely make those hard tyres to the end. But if you can make mediums 22 laps, I think you can make hards at least over 30.
Okay, that's an interesting thing. The top 2 are on hards. Brandon and Faz are both on mediums.
So they're doing an aggressive 2-stop strategy. Interesting. They're either praying for a safety car, or they're praying they can jump Matthew and Jamie early and then pull away, and then pull away with a pit stop gap, I believe. It's going to be interesting.
I really don't know about that one. I mean, maybe they're thinking 9 seconds away. Well, a bit more than that. About 10 seconds. Not really a point. Just run our own races. But I mean, I would have still gone hards because if safety car comes out, well, like obviously for Matthew and Jamie, if safety car comes out now, then they could just stay. But Brian and Farron have to make another pit stop, which then could lead the likes of Lower, and I don't really know where Mumford is, because yeah, but
Well,
could leave Adam in the mixer.
Mumford's in 11th behind Shane by 7.5 seconds, so he's quite off the point as we now have a 3-way fight for 3rd place. Kevin's worn mediums, and then Brandon and Pedro's fresh mediums. We're on board with Pedro. Brandon goes onto the inside. Will Pedro make a dive? No, he stays behind, possibly for a switch back. Kevin has to realise he's there. Kevin goes off the track there. And Pedro gets an easy move with the fresher tyres and gets the position.
That was a must-make move for Pedro. He did not want to be stuck behind Kevin on his 23-lap-old medium tyre, otherwise he'd have lost quite a lot of time to Bran.
That's true, of course. As we've only got 13 drives, I've noticed, in this session remaining. Which we had 20.
24 laps. 25 now.
Now, I did say I wasn't expecting everybody to retire, but if we do have that, it'll be a first. As Pedro then is in 4th with DRS active, so he's going to now pull a charge. The yellow's in sector 3. That's Mumford, I believe. No, that's Cooper.
Ooh,
Another VSC. That's like the 4th. He's going to get disqualified if he's not careful. He's got no front leg.
This has worked out well for Matthew though, because he's just used a lot of his ERS in that last lap, and he's put a 15 flat. I mean, well, Jamie Morris has not used any of it, and he's still sat on 100. And only set 15.9, so Matthew is getting away little by little.
Yeah, that is true, of course. Cooper then has called it a day, and we now only have 12 drivers remaining. That's the 8th retirement within 25 laps. Which is the same. Some people have given up, but some have just crashed and binned it into the wall. Mumford then is into the pits as we go green, 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 and backed for the battle for 3rd place between Pedro and Bran. It's quite close. Kevin hasn't really lost that much time. And speaking of Kevin, when do you think he's going to make his pit stop? Like, we thought medium's 25 possibly, but
I don't know, I thought he would have made a stop by now. 25 laps, they're not great at all. Although, now, see, this is the problem. Kevin's going to go on to the hard compound tyre. Faz and Bran are only, what, 2 seconds up the road? Yeah, so they are going to have to bolt, because if Kevin comes in within the next 2-3 laps, gap's probably going to be about 4 seconds maximum. They're going to have to catch at the back of Kevin and then overtake him. So I think these two have made the wrong strategy call.
Well then, so 2 people who haven't made the wrong strategy call is Jamie and Matthew, and I'm not seeing this, am I? But Jamie's actually catching Matthew, got over 70% ERS. Matthew's only got 40.
Gap was 2.2 for the SCU. I wonder what's going on with Matthew's end there.
So Matthew's either made a mistake. No wind damage I can see in the car.
Jamie Morris is pushing 15 flat on our last lap. So,
so he's actually matched Matthew there on the fastest lap at the moment.
He's possibly fancying a win.
That is true, of course, and now they're both almost at the same ERS. Matthew's at 20% less now, 17. Jamie's at 38. Wow, Jamie is really picking up the pace. He calls a lot on Matthew there into the hairpin. And I think there's going to be a possibly overtake there between Pedro and Bran. Pedro finally makes a move on the inside into the hairpin corner. Bran is going to try the switch. Will he get better traction? No. And with his new T300, which he's getting used to, I don't think he's got used to it yet, because usually when he was on that G29 he could easily make switchbacks like that with a bit of a lock up on the left front tyre there.
You've got about 7 as well with Adam and Baboon J.
We're on board that now.
Oh, he's hit the back of him. Oh dear, that's not good for Baboon J.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's what unfortunately happens with Baboon J. He gets too heated into a move, possibly. He's got wing damage with it, and this is why I call him the dive bomber, as he just tries to send it wherever. As Pedro sets the new fastest lap, 15 flat on the mediums though, only a couple hundredths quicker than Matthew on hard tyres.
Something interesting as well, Matthew's now pulled a 1.4 second gap to Jamie Morris.
Yeah, I think that's with the traffic he had as well. He's got like 3 DRS. As Baboon J is still challenging Adam on... Adam's actually got 26 lap old hards, no wing damage at the moment on his car. Baboon J's got an end plate missing again.
I think that's got to be a wrong strategy call from Kevin Harrison.
Oh, he's running another set of memes, he's pit.
Yeah, that's definitely a wrong strategy call. I don't know whether he's done that or he's forgot to change.
I know how it feels if he's forgot to change, because I did that in Mexico in season 6. I thought I went on intermediate tyres and my engineer said I was, but I went on mediums again. So he has me say, oh, that was questionable for Boom J there. Just shoves Adam a bit off the track into the hairpin, but gets the position. And Adam there moves to 8th. 27 lap old hard tyres.
Oh, he's got, oh my, he's well overshot that. Oh dear.
Yeah, he did. I saw him go off there. Pedro improves by a couple of thousandths there. Kevin's still getting used to the F1 game, as he's only been here for like a year, I believe.
Tell you what, Matthew's been quite lucky. Matthew's also just got another dose of DRS. So, gap now 2.7, I think. That might be game over. Quite a big gap to pull, even if Jamie has got the ERS.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. 1 lap 29. We'll be halfway soon. So I think Matthew's basically got the win in the bag, unless he crashes, but the chances of that happening slim. So yeah. I don't even think he's had a retirement like this whole game in IRL.
Yeah, I don't think so. But I think he's barely retired from every single league he races, so at the minute Ollie Flavel's chances of the championship are out the window. But like you said earlier on, anything can happen. So
yep. Matthew could somehow crack under pressure, crash in turn 1, Brand could win it, or Brand, both of them could crash. So
there's a bit of a battle for 9th with Tim and Shane.
We'll go on board with that then, since that's the only fight at the moment.
So that's a bit of time for a right hander.
The reason, sorry to cut you off, the reason why Ollie was furious with Kevin is because apparently Kevin's moved under the braking at turn 1.
Oh.
So, and I think it might have given wing damage. I think that's why he had to have a wing replaced, and that's what ruined his race. So, I thought he'd be more furious with Jay. I think he had the contact with to make him spin around. But that's unfortunate to hear.
Very unfortunate.
Although back for the battle for P9 between Tim and Shane is, as you said, is quite close. But Adam's also close with. Oh, there's the bottle from Matthew. He just got a 3-second time penalty.
Hasn't Jamie already got one as well though?
Yeah, but
oh yeah.
With Matthew now getting one this early on, yeah, I'd expect that for the final lap. Couple of laps to be fair, so Matthew has been pushed a little bit too much.
I think that'll be fine because Jamie Morrison nearly on
3.3 seconds, so even if he does get another penalty, he'd still be safe by 3/10. As the gap's quite spread out, there's only a few battles between Sean and Mumford.
I think Adam and Baboon J are going to have a battle as well, because both of them just picked up the time penalty.
Yeah, there's a possibility, as Adam's only 7/10 off, probably won't make an overtake yet. I'm guessing in those hards will probably go to lap 40, 42, probably that's when Adam will pit.
Yeah, I think they can even do 50 at a push. But obviously the softs are not great around here. But I mean, for the minute, Adam is in a very good spot because he's battling with Baboon J at the minute, and he's going to be on mediums where I think Baboon J's mid 2 stops and he's going to have to go on hards. So I mean, Adam's looking likely for a P7.
Yeah, that is true. Of course, Adam is looking quite up there. Hasn't had any damage, kept it all by himself, relaxed, and kept his car under control, which is good to see, as Adam has had a few penalties in the F3 division with a few errors, but I've got to say, for his first time on this game this year, he's improved quite a lot and getting used to the rules and everything, and he's doing quite well right now in P8. And especially challenging an F2 driver as well, who's quite up there with Paco, so. Right now then, he's still battling it off as Matthew's increased the gap to Jamie, 3.8 seconds. Oh no, 3.7.
Jamie doesn't look as if he's pushing though, he's still got 80%. Which is strange. Maybe he's hoping for a late safety car.
It's possibly true, but I'll tell you the person who's not looking for a safe guys, Adam, right now. He tried to make me around the outside of Babunje. Will he misjudge his break point this time? No, he nails it. Does the switch. Trying it around the outside. Babunje has to give him space. Still, whoa, decent. As the car just went inside him there. So I don't think these two can see each other actually on track. I don't think. Oh, yeah, I wasn't expecting that little decent there between them two.
I'll have to wait and see. If Babunje can see his DRS, then that's a bit strange.
I hope for this desync thing in on the 2020 game, because it is annoying.
Yeah, Babunje's using his DRS. Yeah, it's not brilliant to look at. So, massive desync from those two.
We'll go on board with Tim then for a bit. It's again, he's done 24 laps on those mediums, same as Shane. He's done 24 laps. Mumford's a bit further behind, 26 at least on 7 lap old hards. Will Tim make a move?
Bit of contact.
Tim there tries to switch. Can't make it right now, but he's really close, so he could possibly go for a lunge into the Mercedes grandstand. Yeah, he is. Wow, he sends that. And he's tried it, but unfortunately it didn't work. And Tim is very smart there, and it does the switch. They're still fighting out for P9, and the gap between Matthew and Jamie has increased even more, 4.4 seconds. And Pedro and Jamie gap now 4.7. So the gap's slowly shrunk between them two.
That's come down a lot.
As lap 34 then, that's 67. Oh, so Shane there gets a penalty with that corner cut in turn 1. And he's going for a possible lunge into turn 2 there. Stays behind. But it's quite obvious with the pace difference though from the F3, F2 and F1 drivers, the gaps and that, as Pedro increases. 149, oh! Bit of contact there between Tim and Shane in the mid-straight. He had to lift off as he was trying to fake to go on one side and Tim didn't really move. And a bit of a nudge down the front wing, and Shane yet again staying behind Tim.
Big switchback from Tim now, actually. I think these two are going to have a long battle, even after their pit stops.
Yeah,
interesting though. Faz has cut the gap down now to 3.9.
Well, he does have the fastest lap with a 14.9. He's the only driver to break into the 14s on a medium tyre though, of course.
I think the only problem for these two is that they've got to pit again. And Kevin's getting past Logan. Easy move that. Yeah, coming back to that. Brandon, Faz, Pedro, sorry, they have to make another stop, so I don't think they're too bothered unless a late safety car comes out.
Which is true, anything as that could happen. As you see there, all that rubber, what's come off the tyres on the side of the track quite easily now, or as the marbles are like to be called. Shane then is going for round at number 4 on Tim. Goes to the outside this time, which isn't really the best place to overtake. Cuts across him a little bit. Tim goes for a little cheeky lunge after. Shane repays him for the switch, and it gets the position, and Tim's already trying to stay in the slipstream of Shane to possibly make a move in the Mercedes grandstand. Oh, he stays behind as he's still low on fuel. There's a gap now, as you said, between Pedro and Jamie now 3.3 seconds as Kevin gets a penalty, which isn't like him. See if anyone's said out in the chat. Nope. New from the chat of any strategies or anything. Brandon's lost a little bit of time there to Pedro, I've noticed actually as well, 1.6 seconds. Now.
Brandon's going to try and undercut, see if he can get past Pedro.
That's one lap, 37.
So 30 more laps to go.
Yep. Exactly 30 laps to go. It's probably finished, I'm guessing, half 7. The race probably done.
Yeah, around there.
As Tim is not leaving Shane alone. Matthew, the gap now to Jamie is 5.7. Gap to Jamie to Pedro 2.8. I don't. Oh, Tim tried a cheeky lunge, big contact. I don't know if he lost any front wing.
I don't think he did. He got round there with something of a shame. Yeah, it looks as if his front wings all intact. So that was a very good move there from Tim.
A good move indeed. And Shane then is now back into 10th. Tim's now back in the 9th. Sean and Mumford are having a little battle further behind in 11th and 12th. Boom J there gets a penalty out to his hand. I think that's his 4th penalty, I believe. Pedro's lost a little bit of time out of Jamie, 2.3 seconds. Brand's increased the gap though to Kevin, 25.8. And if Kevin went on the hard tyres, he could possibly challenge Pedro and Brand, as they would have to go on hard tyres to the end anyway. Unless they are praying for a safety car and go on the softs actually.
I don't see why they'd want to go on softs. They should know from 50% that softs are not the best at all. Softs barely last like 9 laps. You can push them, but they're not fast at all. So I mean, yeah, I was quite surprised when these two came in on mediums. Same with actually Kevin, but I just don't know.
Alright, now we're going to go on board with Pedro and see how much he is closing with the Brazilian helmet, as I believe he's the only Brazilian driver actually to win his home race, which was the final race of season 7 at Brazil. 2 wins, I believe, to his name.
Adam's finally come in. Oh, so has
37.
Tim and Shane.
It's a very interesting bit of data there for the guys on the hards.
Oh, and Adam's got a bit held. He had to service 5 seconds, and then Shane come into the pits.
I think Tim's got either wing damage or a 5 second he had to serve as well.
I think, yeah, Shane got held a lot. His pit crew released him. He didn't move, so he's far away from Tim now. It's a shame for Shane.
That is a shame for Shane too. There. Logan then is in 6th at the moment. We'll be making a pit stop, I believe, with Baboon J very shortly, as those tyres will be coming to the end of their life cycle. But they've got big gaps between each other actually, to be fair. As Adam then, fresh set of mediums. Will he jump Baboon? And Baboon is in, so we'll go on board with that. Gap now 1.1 seconds to Jamie and Pedro. Baboon is in the pits, lower fuel. Will he get a good pit stop? And will he be able to jump Adam out the pits? I don't think he will. He has to have a front wing change.
That might just help Adam.
Adam's coming around the final corner.
Just removed from his pit box.
There we go. Adam takes the position. What about Tim? Yep, he takes position as well and moves up to 8th, and Baboon Jane drops to 9th. But I guarantee straight away Baboon Jane will make a move. Now Pedro has actually caught quite close to Jamie.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do team orders there. Yep.
Weird thing is though, Pedro didn't use his DRS.
As I believe he's weaving.
Yeah, he's weaving to say thanks.
So then, he may have a DRS failure then, which we might not know of as well, and he is saving his ERS now. But there's no way those mediums can go to the end. They have to pit.
Brown's also catching as well. Brown's got the gap up to 1.1.
Yeah, that is actually true actually. 1 second now. As Adam then as the gaps are quite big. From 5th to 4th it's 26.7, from 6th to 5th it's 20 seconds, and then from 7th to 6th it's 30 seconds. So there's quite big gaps there for 5th, 6th and 7th. The battle now we will have is between Bran, JME and Pedro, as Bran and Pedro will be making their pit stops soon.
I'm still confused on why Jamie's left. Faz go through Pedro even time. It's quite strange. Pedro's going to come in soon. It's not as if he has a massive pace advantage either, because Jamie's keeping up with him quite well.
Well, that is true, but he could also have used it so that Bran doesn't actually catch up with him. He knows they're still going to have to pit, so he's basically just going to use this to save his ERS, save his fuel, and then possibly attack again. Possibly. He's not going to catch Matthew. Matthew's got an 8.8 second gap. So it's safe to say Matthew's won the race.
Yeah, I think though, you are right. I think they are going to go on softs.
It's going to be a big task because they've already done 20 laps on those mediums. Softs, we saw only could last 8 laps on heavy fuel, so with the lower fuel they've got, possibly could last 10 laps. So possibly lap 57, we expect the medium guys to pit.
I think if these can make it 11 more laps on their mediums, I think they'll definitely come in softs, but I just don't see the point of it. Very weird from their point. Bran's still the gaps of about 1.1. He needs to make time for this middle sector.
Yeah, it's true to be fair, he will need to pit soon. Jamie though, third, Hard's going to the end. He's not going to have to worry about his car's going to be light, he's going to be a lot faster shortly. But yeah, you are right though, with Pedro and Bran, they're going to have to at least, no, Pedro's, sorry, Jamie's in,
nice.
Why is he coming in?
Maybe he wants to have a battle with these three, I don't know.
Interesting.
Still though, if I was Jamie, I would have gone on. Wait, he's coming for another set of hards. What is going on?
I thought he went on another set of mediums.
The graphics saying hards. Right, that is interesting.
That is very interesting actually, because maybe he's worn out his hards, to be fair, maybe that's why they'll catch them that quickly. But we've seen Adam though make the hards almost last 40 laps, so that was a very early pit stop. Like 20 laps before their life cycle ends.
And these two have got to be careful of the undercut from Jamie.
Yeah, that is true, of course. As Justin Arun says, crap, this isn't Rocket League. And obviously not. This is IRL F1 racing.
Pedro doesn't appear, neither does Bran. I think these two are going to go on
yellows.
softs.
I think that was Shane they're making there. Yeah, they could, to be fair. Gap between Pedro and Matthew are 9.6 seconds. So, if they are going for soft tyres, like you said, they need to make it to lap. Oh, Shane's out. Shane is retired into the pits.
Yeah.
So only 11 runners left. We've lost 9 drivers now, and we're on lap 44. As Justin Aaron says, good luck folks, and thank you very much. Good luck to you as well if you're playing Rocket League. We'll back to racing then, with only 11 runners left. Everyone except Sean can score a point, unless Sean overtakes Mumford right now, which I think he's about to do. Thinking about it. As Mumford, I don't get this. Yeah, I don't get this. Mumford's on 18 and Sean's on 34. How is Mumford losing time there to Sean. It looked like Sean was really racy. And I've just noticed from my eye, Matthew set a new fastest lap, 14.5. So Matthew definitely was banking on his hard lap pace. He's increased the pace there. He's almost out of ERS, and the gap now 9.9 seconds.
I mean, he's just he knows he's got it in the bag. Even if, but these two obviously have to pit, so then he can even come in. Oh dear, Jim Morris got another penalty. It's not going to help him in the battle between Brown and Faz.
Oh, yep, that is true, of course. I will do think though, if these two pit, I think Matthew may pit for softs. He has the gap to do it. It ain't really going to hurt him. If these two do pit, he could pit for softs and do the fastest lap. So
he has the tyres to go to continue him on until about lap 57 as well. So
I think that would be the trouble as well if he does it. Takes the win, fastest lap, and started on pole. So
domination, as we've seen.
Oh yeah, which we have seen for the past 2 seasons, which I don't think will be that much of domination from Matthew in season 8, especially with the drivers who possibly join in and that, as there is a racing point round. If it'll let me select it. I think Sean has lost. Yeah, Sean and Mumford have come together. Sean is going to have to pit. Yet again, these two have come together. They came together earlier in turn 1. And Sean's into the pits. As we'll just go on board with actually Adam. Actually, I didn't even know these two are fighting it out between Babunjay and Adam. And for some reason, these two are ghosting. I don't know why. Babunjay goes off the track a little bit. But Adam,
yeah, Adam's got. I don't know. I think there's massive decent, but Babunjay can see Adam. It's a bit weird. Adam didn't use DRS in the whole straight, but yeah, Babunjay still went defensive.
That's interesting. What's also interesting, Sean's going on a set of soft tyres.
Wrong.
20 laps. I think that's pretty early.
Yeah.
For softs.
He should have gone on mediums to get to pit again.
We've got 20 laps remaining on this race. Excuse me. Oh. There's no action at the moment, unfortunately. Maybe if Matthew does us a massive favour, slow right down, park it on the track.
Actually, as you say that, Babunjay's got a run on Adam.
That's true, of course. Is he going to go straight through him or is he going to send it? No, he sends it. Dive bomber. Goes off the track again.
He looks as if he goes every time he goes near Adam.
Yeah, I think he sees him and I think he might think Adam's a bit closer to him and he's trying to avoid his car. That's why he's going off. But if that's the case, don't go as deep into the corner.
Morris is 15 seconds behind Brand. So that undercut has worked, but at what cost has it worked? Did he really need the pit?
Not to be fair, he could have actually shredded those hard to try and catch up with Matthew earlier on in that race. Like, I don't get how he's probably done it.
To be fair, we are talking about the man who can still blow up a gearbox.
Yep, that is Jamie. Sondre has blown up a gearbox though as well, recently, in an F2 car.
Oh,
so
Jamie Morris nearly lost control of the car going for turn 1. Took a bit too much curve.
So he might have overheating issues and in the rear if he's losing it. Oh, here comes the Babunjay. Dive bombs it again into the hairpin. This time stops him trying to make me around the outside, and Adam loses the position. Babunjay moves back up to 7th, but I don't think Adam's finished. Sean sets a new fastest lap, 13.5 on a set of softs. So he'll be happy he's got the fastest lap.
Unfortunately, top 3 are going to take that away from him very soon.
Yeah, it's true, of course, when they peel into the pits.
Brown and Pedro are going for soft, so I really don't understand why Jamie Morris pit for hards. Obviously, like you say, he could have shredded them, but only 20 laps on them. I don't think he shredded them that much, surely not.
Well, as we've said, it is Jamie. Jamie does some impossible things sometimes.
It's true.
But he ain't the Bottle Hog. The Bottle Hog has disqualified himself in Monaco, Mexico twice, blew up his gearbox in the F2 car and the modern Mercedes car. Baboon J then is defending on the inside against Adam this time.
And the summer season.
Oh yeah, and the summer season as well.
Sorry, Sandra.
It's alright, Sandra, if you listen to this, we all know it can happen. Maybe if you do it again in 2020, it'd be nice. Oh, Sean's out, so there's only 10 drivers remaining.
It's in the pits.
So he's had enough.
Oh, Boom J round the outside of and with the right hander. Lovely move.
A very good move. I've seen it not work. That reminds me back in season 5, Paco Suarez and Marcel Holler. Those two came the blows, and luckily for that, it helped me out. But it was a nice move he tried to do around the outside, but not Mumford, Baboon J there shows it how it's done.
I think Adam might have had a DRS there when he wasn't able to use his DRS, because he's now using it.
Yeah, maybe.
So hopefully these two will battle quite soon, because the action has dried up a bit.
Oh yeah, this is the only battle we have right now. Gap between Matthew and Pedro though has decreased a little bit now. 9.1 seconds, it was 9.9 a couple of laps ago when Matthew got the fastest lap, which was then taken by Sean.
We want to see action.
I do want to see action. I want to see a massive crash, safety car, and then we can have a final shootout between Bran and Matthew.
Oh, that's illegal. Okay. Might have to give that position back.
Oh yeah, Adam overtaked off track there, I didn't even notice that.
It was slightly illegal, should we say. Yeah.
Well, if he gets reported, he'll possibly get a penalty, to be fair, if he doesn't give him the position back.
It's the last race, everyone just enjoy. We'll be on 2020 in 3 to 6 days. It's fine.
Guys, do put in the comments if you think Matthew Alder should get a 50-second penalty. I think, that'll be fair,
Guys, put in the comments if you think Matthew Alder should get GOAT status put on him.
It will be next season, especially with the drivers. Who's going to have to face? And Adam yet again with Baboon J still going fighting side by side. Ooh, almost pushed him off.
I'm enjoying watching Desync Mumford.
Is Mumford like in between these two or something?
Nah, for me he's just gone round the final corner with pit limiter on, and then he's come out. He's driving in on the straight, on the first straight. He's come out on a fresh set of mediums. Tyres just changed colour.
Yeah, he's into the hairpin corner at the moment.
Yeah, he's nowhere near there for me.
Right now though, I'm actually expecting a crash between Baboon and Adam actually.
Come on lads, throw a bit of fire into the mix. We want to see action, we want to see safety car.
Sandra says, I think forehead. So I don't think he likes the penalty. I would say give to Matthew. It's alright, so Andre will just give you a qualifying ban.
What has happened there? None of them have got DRS. Okay. I think Baboon J might be giving us what we want. Dive bomb.
Nope, dive bomber doesn't dive bomb this time.
It's not later on the brakes though. I just have to watch out for that, as apparently Mumford's in the pits again.
Yeah, he is. Mumford is, I think, possibly going for a set of softs to get the fastest lap.
Mumford, you've let the Welsh down. You're desynced.
Well, if Nino wasn't a bit silly with France and he didn't have that ban, he could have been the other Welsh to possibly help the Welsh out in this race. Unfortunately, he can't make it today with that. But I think he's learned his lesson this time.
Tell you what, I think after looking all bright and nice for Ollie Flavel, I think he's actually going to finish third in the championship.
Yeah. Unless Logan wins. I think if Logan wins, possibly change. I don't know. Let's have a look. Points then. If my mouse works. Yeah, Ollie had 63 points. Matthew had 52 as Bermudia sends it on Adam. Brandon has 55 points. So he's going to get 65 points. So if Matthew retired, Brandon would win the championship by 2 points.
Wait, no. Brandon would be on 70 now.
Oh yeah, 15, my bad. Yeah, 70, so he would win the championship there by some points there. But with Matthew, 26, 72, 77, so yeah, Matthew...
Oh, Matthew's lost it, Matthew's lost it!
Or has he binned it? Please tell me.
Yeah, no, well, he hasn't binned it, but he's lost it.
Come on, Pedro!
Oh dear.
I'm sorry, Matthew,
Yeah,
but... Go on, Pedro.
He's going to be coming into the pits quite soon. I'm surprised that Pedro's actually made his tyres last 31 laps and Bran is into the pits. But yeah, Matthew has just lost the car. It's a rare mistake we see from Matthew. Maybe I've put a bit of pressure saying go start us on him.
Well, if he's overheated those tyres, he may need to pit. And that could open the door a little bit to Bran. Bran's pitted already on soft tyres. And yeah.
What's interesting is Jamie Morris is going to be in the mix here. 17 seconds behind.
Andre has said Bran needs 5th or higher to beat Ollie, but he won't win as Matthew is only 3 points behind Brandon.
Yeah.
And so it says his tyres are golden. Can you actually see Mumford now, or is he still?
No, he's still.
He's in turn 2.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah, I can see that. But watch now, you go through the barrier or something. But yeah, both Matthew and Pedro are in. So Pedro managed to do the same amount of laps on his mediums than Matthew did on his hards.
Nah, there's no way. There is no way Jamie has not got ahead.
Oh, he's got ahead of Pedro. Brand's 2 seconds off. Bit of a shame.
The softs are going to be a push though for Brandon, because I said 6-7 laps with full fuel is going to be hard. With tyres now.
Everyone's coming in the pits. Kevin Harrison's now in the pits for a fresh set of softs.
So Reynolds there do the switch. Pedro moves into 2nd place. I don't know if Jamie's happy with that or was weaving a little bit. And Sonny says it's fastest lap competition at the end now between the top 4, or top 4 and 6th.
Well, I mean, if he doesn't bottle, as we know because of his pace, Matthew Alder should get that. Although Faz has looked very quick, so I'll be surprised if Matthew doesn't get it. But yeah, expect Faz to be close.
Yeah, that is true, of course. Now, I don't believe Faz has got a penalty, right? Matthew has. Remember. Oh, speaking about penalties, commentator cursed, he has 6 seconds. Is Matthew bottle? Matthew's got 6 seconds now.
Yeah, Faz also has. Petra's obviously picked. Oh, that. I'll tell you what. Never mind. Don't worry about Pedro getting. Oh, actually. Yeah, never mind. I don't know if this is going to be close because Pedro and Matthew have both got DRS.
There's a fight behind. Brandon now moves into 3rd, it looks like. Oh, Jamie's shutting the door. And the Red Bull's getting in the mix. I don't know who that is. I think that's Tim.
Yeah, it's Tim. Go on, lad.
Tim, there, you're going to have to stay behind. Blue flags. But right now though, Brandon and Jamie are fighting it out. Stay on board with this battle then. So as heated up, we're on lap 56 at 67. Oh, Jamie's made an error on those hards, and Brandon's seen the opportunity, going around the outside into the Vettel mistake corner. Brand's still there, and he's got it. Yeah, Jamie backed off
James
there.
Actually,
Jamie's off.
Yeah. Into the pits. Jamie must go.
Pedro then, 1.8 seconds. Now, if he wants to try and win this race, he has beat Matthew on both weather on tracks. He beat Matthew in dries in Brazil, and he beat him in the wet. So
that last lap, Matthew was 2 times faster than Faz.
And 1 second quicker than Bran, 13.8 from Bran.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Harrison. Go on, lad.
12.7. Kevin improves.
He might have just taken all of the wear out of his tyres though. He sounds much screaming at the end.
Yeah, that is true, of course. What's the gap to the leader? 7.3. Bran needs to. I don't think Bran's got a penalty. So if Bran gets it to 6 seconds.
No, yeah, I think I saw Bran's been caught once. I think Matthew has to get 12 seconds. As
it sets a new fast lap. 12.3. Oh, yellows.
Pedro. What was that for?
Baboon J. Mistake on the final corner.
I think. As if Kevin Harrison has got a bit slow through Mercedes grandstand.
Lap 58. Will Brand's tyres be able to make to the end? They're a lap older, of course, but yeah, it'll be interesting then. He's going to get a bit of, I don't think slipstream, but I don't think he gets slipstream from Ghost Cars.
We're going to see some action
from Morris and Logan, actually.
Yep.
Ooh, moved a little bit on the braking and just taps him, just let him know that you're there. Bit questionable.
I think that's action done. We've got to wait for Kevin Harrison to catch up to Logan as Jamie's on brand new soft. So
if he can catch up with Brian within 30 seconds, I'll be surprised. So I'm just saying, Brian's tyres will make it to the end.
Brian could pit again if he feels like he has the pace to go for another fast lap. He could pit again.
Yeah, that's true, but that would affect his championship. So he'd probably just pray that Matthew gets a ton of penalties. Matthew's sitting at home now, relaxed, having a beer. In turn 6, he's just having a chilled day. He's got hardly any ERS. Pedro's got half, and Brandon's
Jim
got
Morris. 30. Nowhere near. Oh, actually, yeah, he is. Very near.
11.9. Well, Matthew, you're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit more if you want that fastest lap.
I think once again, his softs will be sharp, and Matthew's will be sharp, Pedro's will also be sharp. They are not great at all.
That's Mumford in the pits.
Oh, well.
He's binned it in the pits, and he's coming in for a fresh set of softs. I think he's going to try and go for the fastest lap.
Mumford. Oh. Let's go. Disappointment.
Oh, he retires. That was in the 90% rule, right?
I don't think so.
That's a shame. Shane says, stupid game, I left the wing change on, yes, accidentally, and I changed my wing when I had no damage.
Oh.
Isn't that a glitch where it just changed your wing when you got no damage?
If you leave it on, yes, then it will automatically change it no matter what. It's stupid. If it's on auto and you've got a bit of wing damage, sometimes, like, depending on the wing there, so if it's yellow they'll change it, if it's like light green they won't change it, so you have to select it to yes, and obviously he's left it on yes, and he's come in and they've fixed his wing for no reason.
Well then, 7 laps, maybe 6 laps left now.
Kevin Harrison move on Logan.
Ooh, need to go to that quickly before I miss it.
Easy move.
Logan there, drops to 6th. I've got to say to Logan, he is really quick. He's run about Kevin's pace, because like the first race he entered in Japan, he won. In F2, so...
It's a shame he's on 20 lap old mediums.
Yeah, Kevin yet again with the strategy has played it smart. He's very good with his strategy calls. The only thing he's not good at is wheel to wheel. I'd say that's his only flaw.
He's calling you out.
Other than that, everything else he's got consistency and pace, and that's how he won a title. And unfortunately, he also lost the title with someone who's got the exact same consistency and pace.
Everyone, if you're listening to the stream, come into the pits. Everyone in. Box.
New relegation's got a pit now. 1 lap 61.
Safety car, new rule. Safety car, we want some action.
Yeah, then 2.7 between Pedro and Matthew.
So none of them listen to the new regulations.
Actually, hang on. What happens if Matt's second's 18 points, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me do some calculations. No, my luck, though. Me and my maths. I need a clean bit of paper.
If you're going to say if Matthew finishes
second,
yeah, he'd still win.
Oh, would he?
Yeah, he'd be on 70 points.
So would Bran.
Who's won more races?
That I don't know. Probably Matthew.
What,
yeah, I think Matthew actually, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah, so then I think Matthew'd win it off of races 1.
Yeah, he won an F2 race. He won this race. He hadn't won a... What's the word I'm looking for? He didn't win the classic car race. He didn't win the FP race.
Yeah, but he's won 2. And then
yeah.
Bran, I don't think, has. So the gap has come down to 2.1.
I think the only way Bran can do it, if he pits now, gets fastest lap. That's the only way he could possibly win the championship by a point. Oh, Biboon J's off.
Yeah. Safety car. You've got to be careful. Ooh, I thought that was...
Yeah, Bran could easily actually win the championship if he pits now. Goes softs, he's got the championship in the bag. Because...
No, because Matthew's going to have 25 points.
No, I mean if they switch from penalties though. If Matthew does get another penalty, he goes second.
Oh
Bran.
Dear.
Biboon's gone.
Biboon J's, yeah.
Now
Safety car!
The F1 gods have confirmed it. Bran, you're back in this championship. Get on those fresh soft tyres and show Matthew's boss. Alright?
Problem is, for Matthew,
He's getting fresh softs.
Bran's got 1 pen.
Matthew's got 2. Oh yeah. Come on, Bran. I want Bran to win. It might be a bit biased to Matthew, but he's had his
still a
done.
3-second gap.
Will he speed in the pits though? Because he's done this before.
No, he'll be smart.
Nah, he don't.
Oh!
Pedro stays out.
Yeah, that's a bit strange from Pedro.
He could be. No, but the thing is, he could be a catalyst in this.
Yeah,
because
maybe he's helping Bran.
60. Yeah, the safety car's only going to be out for a lap. Because it has to have 2 laps, so...
Yeah.
So he actually might have played, to be fair. Matthew's second now.
No. Yeah, Matthew will overtake him. It's just... Bran could very well win this championship. This has thrown a lot of drama into the mix.
This is it then. Matthew...
Everyone's coming in, but they're not going to be able to bunch up.
It's true. Bran needs the fastest lap and to win. So he needs to pull something out of the bag. There's a safety car. Yeah, safety car is out. So.
Well, as regards to action for the last 3 laps.
Well, the safety car will go in lap 65. So it will be out for a lap and a bit, I think, for everyone to catch up.
Safety car finish. Imagine that.
Well, unfortunately, that can't happen, but I wish that would happen. Unfortunately, that isn't a thing in the game.
Cody, if you're listening, make that a thing.
Yep. Bring red flags back as well.
Not sick, but yeah, bring red flags. Oh, imagine that.
They need to remove that because of the safety car, so...
Yeah, but how would that work? Because if you think about it... Yeah, I don't know.
If there's a massive crash, like 10 cars out, then yeah. Or 5 cars, but...
Yeah. Agree with that, but... I don't know.
Well, safety car will be coming in this lap then, I'm guessing.
It should be. If not, then it's rigged. But still.
So basically, if Matthew doesn't get a good start, Brand passes him, and Brand just holds him off for one whole lap, Brand is champion. And he'll finally redeem himself from the summer season.
Which he should have won, but he's an egg.
He should have won that, but Tim played the strategy correct, and he had the Ferrari, of course, was a bit more powerful engine.
All I'm saying, Brand should have stayed out on those hards, because I managed to make them work.
Hold on.
Anyway, yeah. So.
Oh
my God.
Morris has got a 5-second. Got 8 cars. Surely safety car's coming in this lap.
Matthew needs to overtake Pedro. Pedro needs to hold Bran up.
Well, even if Brand gets seconds, at the moment, he still won't win it. So, but with Matthew's penalty, extra penalty he's got, Brand needs to pray not to get a penalty and not to bottle.
I think there's a possibility that all of these could bottle. They're all going to be pushing extra hard, especially Pedro.
If both these crash,
yeah.
I don't know. Well, no, I don't know because it is within the 90% rule, so they've still scored points. But we are going green flag. They can't overtake. Brandon had the best start. Matthew has. Could challenge Pedro into turn 1. No, he stays behind. As we can see, Jamie, challenging. Brand there.
Oh, contact.
Jamie sent it into second place. Brand and Matthew are going side by side. Who's going to have it?
Matthew's got superior straight line speed.
Jamie cuts Matthew off a little bit. It could possibly be a dive from Matthew.
3 wide.
Matthew sends it. Bit of damage, I think, on that front wing of Matthew's car. Brand going on the outside of Pedro. This is too close.
Oh, Jamie's diving around the outside.
Oh, bit of contact between Matthew and Jamie. Brandon shoved him a little bit. Oh, a bit more contact between Jamie and Bran.
This is what we wanted.
Jamie's costing Bran the championship right now.
Bran's dived it. Oh, he's locked up. Bran is costing himself. Oh, it's contact.
Oh no, Bran's bald!
Bran's bald. Oh, Bran.
That is championship over. And Matthew then, on the final lap of this race, has bottled the championship. Bran has bottled the championship. Matthew hasn't. Got too many B's. Matthew then is basically your champion.
Bran's weaving on the straight.
I don't think he's happy with Jamie, but Jamie doesn't have to give you the position. You're going to have to fight for it.
Seems like there's a problem with his front right. He locks up everywhere.
Yeah, that is true. As we can see that Logan there moves into third, does the switch, runs off track. Jamie takes second.
Got a good run. Oh, he should have gone down the inside.
I did call it though, round about 7:30 this race would be finished. It's 7:30 exactly. And Matthew Order then looks like he's going to take an Exhibition Series championship, first champion of the Exhibition Series. So a two-time IRL F1 champion and an Exhibition Series champion, unless he gets a surprise penalty, which we don't know about. There's yellows behind. That's Renault. Jamie is off. Jamie has bottled it. Matthew then takes the win. Logan takes second. Kevin third. Fourth, Pedro. Brandon takes fifth, and Jamie Morris then is going to round up in sixth. And Matthew Warder then wins the IRL Exhibition Series Championship, Germany. So Matthew,
Brandon Glover,
dominance
with the biggest bottle I've ever seen in my life.
Biggest bottle indeed, and with only 8 finishes, I believe. And I know Matthew's going to say A, because I did say I didn't think he would win it, but congratulations to him. Another championship on his belt. So a one-time Exhibition Series champion, a two-time IRL F1 champion. Is anybody going to challenge this guy in Season 8?
Me.
As Cameron then says, him. Could possibly. You know, Matthew could go instantly slow. But there we have it then. Matthew then takes the win with Logan in second and Kevin Harrison, I believe, third place. So that's a very good result. So then your official results then is Matthew in first, Logan second, Kevin Harrison third, Pedro fourth, Brandon fifth, Jamie Morris sixth, Tim in seventh, and Adam eighth. Bermudia, I don't know if he gets ninth. I don't think he qualified within the 90% rule. Mumford, Meme, Shane, Cooper, Luke, Ceramic, Ollie Favell, championship points leader who's not championship point leader anymore, Tyler Thomas, Tom Jewell, Billy Mossam, and Delta all DNF'd in today's race. Well then, we're not going to be doing
86 minutes.
I'm drained.
Long race.
I'm absolutely drained. But yeah, we're not going to do any interviews because we haven't done any interviews for the whole thing. Since it's not the actual season, it's just an exhibition series. But this has been great to commentate. I have commentated the other three. Sorry, with last week's I missed with FP, but I've been joined in the commentary booth with Cameron Young, which I've enjoyed. And any highlight of your day in the race today, Cameron?
Bram bottling.
Just I've got to agree with you.
Lit my face up.
I've got to agree, Bran. Sorry to hear this, mate, but you've bottled another championship. That's twice you've had a championship.
A fat egg, Bran. It was in your hands, and you've cocked it up.
Well then, I've been your commentator then, IRL Nain, or as Jared Fosbury. I've been joined by Cameron Young, or as Toxic Tomato, or as Nexus Nibro, as he used to race as.
No.
Well then,
no.
if you guys want to see more IRL content, wait for Season 8 info, as there will be highlights for F3 later on this week, as F2 and F1 highlights have been released. Do check them out. I may do highlights for the exhibition series as well. It will be a pain, but I'll try and get them in. But yeah, do check those highlights out, and have a nice day, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.